But you know what it is, man. Thank you for tuning in to the Stargang live cast here with the Cowboys Reports. Cowboys Nation Stargang affiliates via YouTube, via Twitter, via Facebook. You got your usual suspects in the building, right? We got Spoonie with the Stunner Shades on. We got our guy J Tuck. 1 year anniversary, J Tuck.
I'm calling man.
One Tuck. I'm calling One Tuck tonight, maybe.
One Tuck, man.
One Tuck.
Yeah, my end of my rookie season, man. So I'm official now. I'm a vet now, man.
You earned the star.
Yeah, I earned my star. Yeah. A lot harder to earn my star this way than some of the players on the field. But that's neat.
We might talk a little about that tonight.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you got Knicks as always in the thing. Let's see who's in the chat here real quick, man. Get the likes up, get the shares up. We're gonna let this thing build up.
God, Mo.
Mo always coming through. Oh, MTC's in the building. What's going on, moving the chains? How you doing, baby girl? Joe from Italy, all the way from Italy. He's gonna be giving us that pit say tonight. I already know he's gonna be through. Going to be talking about it. But like I said, man, give it like Facebook, YouTube, get them likes, get them shares, everything else. My guy Mark, Mr. King Fatties, he wants nothing but offensive defensive line is in the building as well.
Right.
My guy Joseph's in the building. What's going on? Giggity. Jerry about to get giggity with it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some smoke around the league for sure with the Cowboys and otherwise, as it pertains to this draft. Outside of that, though, guys, it's hump day. Everybody doing good? Good week so far?
Yeah, everything's going good for me, man. On my end, can't complain. So I kind of had a Caleb Farley incident this morning in the gym, man. So my back's a little, deadlifting, but
Spoon, how about you? Week been good so far, my man?
So far so good. Can't complain, man. Great experiences. Had a good day today. Straight.
Oh yeah, that part. Speaking of, we got KJ Wright out of here now, right? We talked about that yesterday a little bit, and we kind of got to some free agency stuff today, guys. Cowboys, they didn't get KJ Wright done. If y'all was here yesterday, we talked about KJ Wright moving out the building, and we got us a couple of guys. Who do we sign? We signed a couple of guys. No.
Oh yeah, we signed a punter Anger.
Okay. Former Houston Texan, right? I think.
Yeah, Houston Texan. We got Jeremy Sprinkles, former tight end from the Washington football team.
Sprinkles.
All right, so there's depth.
Okay.
We lost Nick Bell to the Chiefs, so body right there.
Blocking guy, a little blocking guy, right? So we talk about these signings, and so we got a long snapper,
right,
and we got a punter. That's where we're at. Yeah.
We're all in.
We're all in.
Yeah.
All on these special teams, guys. We are all in on these special teams.
But I will say this, for Brian Anger, does anybody want to check what number he wore when he's in Houston? I just tossed it out.
4, right? Was he 4?
No,
he was 9. He was 9. That's right. He was 9.
Yeah, go be
next, we are definitely going to get into some of this smoke screen and rumor season going down. But right now, we want to talk about after we bailed off the KJ Wright story yesterday and not happening here. We got some guys. We can kind of run down the list now of free agents, right? Carlos Watkins, Brent Urban. The only guy, to my knowledge, that got more than a 1-year deal is your guy on the edge, right? Basham, correct, Spoonie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Basham.
And, he's been kind of related as maybe a terrible signing, but, we'll kind of get there. Then we got Mr. Casey on a very, very cheap deal. It makes me a little nervous. I've talked about that before. And then we got Keanu O'Neal. Man. We brought back Dak came back, all right.
Right, yeah.
And Jay Lou. We brought back Jay Lou.
Right.
That's the crop, guys. That's the crop. We watched another tight end we talked about a lot here, and Wright go over the other Eric go over here for $3.5 million to the Eagles today. That free agent crop. What does it tell you? What does it tell you, Spoon? This free agent crop leading up to this draft. What does it tell you?
It's depth. A lot of 1-year deals. A lot of guys are not. They're not guaranteed to come back next season. So it just basically these guys just say that, listen, these are guys that we're going to have for this season in case we don't address the guys we want to draft, and we still have these guys, and whatever we don't get, we'll get on next year unless when you guys perform at a high level, then we can re-sign them. listen, I'm a fan of course, Kazi, the Neil deal, the Brent Urban, definitely fans of those guys. I still think that we need another outside corner. Listen, it's still a lot of work to be done with this football team, but Stephen Jones is going to do it his way.
Yeah, Eric Wilson, excuse me. I called him right. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Wilson went over there. Mendoza definitely pounded the table about him all offseason. I have been too. Definitely. And for 122 tackles, 3 interceptions, had a year in Minnesota. Went for the low, not for us, for the Eagles. But this free agent crop, those 1 year tuck.
Man, it's been frustrating to say the least, man. Because when you think about it, for the most part, and we spoke about this, earlier when the KZ deal was actually revealed. Pretty much at this point, we signed one starter, right? And that's Neil. Like that's the one guy we can kind of pencil in. It's going to be a starter. Jordan Lewis. We're hoping, right? And so I feel like it's been very lackluster, and I feel like they're showing sense of urgency on a lot of guys that we could get after the draft later this summer. Like I feel like none of these guys, whether it's the Anger or Basham, a lot of these guys will probably been available, or the type of caliber player would have been available later. So I don't understand why there's a sense of urgency to get just depth guys in his guys to fill the roster who we probably, when we do these summer final roster cuts, will they still be there? So it's just like camp bodies. Okay, cool, but it's like I wanted the Dallas Cowboys to really focus on getting players that's going to be impacting this team. We're still going in, 2 weeks away from the draft pretty much without having a outside corner being signed. And there's no sense of urgency for that, but there's a sense of urgency for another punter to create a punter competition in-house. I really don't understand what's really going on in Dallas, man. And like I said, we kind of made fun of Stephen Jones for shopping at Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Let's say, all right, well, I'm gonna go to the pawn shop now, man. I mean, and that's exactly where we are. Like, no money's being spent. There's opportunity there, and
yeah, and if you tuned in yesterday when we were on here for about an hour and a half talking about the KJ Wright deal, the one thing that I talked about, and you were hitting the nail on the head there, urgency. There's just a lack of urgency from this front office to get things done. For me, I just, where's the urgency to go win? Where I've talked about this on this show for many years. Prior tuck, with tuck off screen. Me and Spoon have been talking about it for 3 years. Looking for that all chips to the middle moment. And the scary thing is this: if you miss in this draft,
right,
boy, you can't miss.
Right.
Like if you miss in this draft, the way that you've set this up, man, it is ugly.
Right.
And I don't know, man. It doesn't scream that they're ready to win. I hate to really say that. It kind of sucks to say that. And we heard, coming off of the press conference with Dak and everything that was said, and even Jerry cocking over to the side. I want to see how you're going to build it too, and see like, oh well, and he gave the song and dance, if you will. And here we are, and you look at this laundry list of what we brought in on 1 year deals, and meh. I mean, it looks like they're hedging their bets, right, on Dan Quinn and this defense going back to something familiar, and they're expecting those guys, and mainly I'm talking about LVE and Jalen Smith turning back into those guys in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, and
especially 2018 because LV was hurt majority of 19. We know what happened in 20, but they're really thinking that Dan Quinn's going to turn the clock back on these linebackers. It's the way that I look at it.
Right. They're putting a lot of faith and trust to Dan Quinn, man, because he's going to have to, because I don't feel like he has the ingredients in-house to kind of push this defense forward. It kind of goes back to the old Friday movie when Smokey's like, it ain't enough. Like, make it enough. And I feel like that's what Jerry and Steven are telling Dan Quinn is like, I ain't got enough weapons. Well, make it enough weapons. All right. That's what they're kind of doing right now. And like you said, Nick, it's like we are going to the corner, backed into a corner. I mean, the draft backed into a corner. Like, we are going to have to at least make 3 to 4 picks of guys that's going to be able to start day one, because there's so many holes, especially defensively, that we haven't filled, man. And I just don't understand what they're thinking. Like I said on Twitter, Stephen Jones would make the best accountant if you want to know how to budget, not spend, save money, build an emergency fund. That's Stephen Jones, man. But to run a football franchise, I mean, you even see what Philly's doing right now. We had all these jokes about Philly being strapped for cap space, and here they are still making moves. and we're sitting on our hands getting punters and long snappers, man. I don't understand it.
Yeah, my guy Joseph says, I view the Cowboys free agents as my mother-in-law coming over to stay for the weekend. Real quick, Smith, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you back door on that. Let me get some shout outs, Smith. That boy Sid's in the middle. What's going on, Sid? I responded to your message, by the way. Hit me up, let me know. Big boss man in the building as well. Talking about can't wait for draft day. Man, we can't either, man. And we better hit. Yeah. Our guy Joe SoFlo's in the building.
What's up, my guy?
Yeah, SoFlo's in the middle. What's going on, SoFlo, man? My guy Joseph, we just had on the screen. We with the chains mo. Let me get through this thing. Oh, we got oh my God, Ryan in the building. Pitts game strong. Pitts, you already know what it is. Y'all see the pick and everything. We got another Ryan Hawkins, and of course, my guy Elazar Mendoza, our mod extraordinaire. And man, hey man, pay attention to my guy, man. He he was on horn before anybody.
The Oracle, man. That's
dead ass. Yeah, he was on horn before anybody. With that being said, man, Spoon, what you think, man?
I mean, listen, Tuck hit a lot of great points, and it's getting frustrated. You know, Dak Prescott should not be the biggest free agency signing. That's the automatic. He's a quarterback. You know, I understand as far as the safety position, guys like Marcus May got tagged. You got guys, my man Justin Simmons from Denver Broncos, he got tagged. Nobody wanted a safety more than me and Tuck. Right. We wanted to give up the house for a starting safety. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't get the safety we wanted, but we got a solid replacement. But we do know at the draft that there's your starter. And again,
that's a mean comment right there. Boy, that's a mean. But funny how we get punter competition, but we wouldn't do it for Brett Maher. Right. Oh, go ahead, Spoon. Go ahead.
You know, so it gets frustrated that now we're gonna have to rely on the draft now. BJ, the other day you said we got 10 picks. I doubt that we're gonna use all 10 picks. You may have a couple of trades here and there. Moving up. I just hope the Dallas Cowboys in the first round with that 10th overall pick get the guy that you want. Or if you see a guy that you really, really want is falling, it's not falling. You know, you're worried that a team in front of you is going to get that guy. Move up. Right. Use the third round pick and move up and get the guy that you want. Now, again, we all wanted Kyle Pitts. I'm banging the table that, you know, he's not going to fall. Hopefully he does like CeeDee Lamb last season, but I doubt he falls. But if it's Surtain or Horn, those are the two guys you must take at that number 10. If one of them gets drafted earlier, let's say Carolina, who needs a cornerback, or Detroit, you're gonna have to try your best to move up and get Horn, because once Surtain and Horn are gone, Farley's going probably late first, second round.
Yeah, right.
You know, we know a team like average. Like I know a couple of Cowboys fans were saying that we should be trading back. Why? For more picks? There's competition back there. Arizona needs a cornerback too.
Say that again. Why? Because I just had this phone conversation with a few people. Why the hell do people think that we are going to trade back behind Philadelphia, behind Washington, behind the Giants to get what? Like more picks?
Exactly. It's not like the Eagles don't need a corner. Right. It's not like Washington won't need a corner, nor the Giants. We don't want to pass up on a play that we like and give it to our competition.
Right.
That's number one thing. You may have to stand put or move up, not backwards. Right. Not backwards. Now, for some reason, Pitts, Surtain, and Horn are gone, then what you're gonna do? You may want to trade back, or you may want to, grab one of them offensive linemen. Or Tuck, the $1 million question that I know you love. What if, for some reason, one of them wide receivers falls to number 10 and Chase? Devontae, what are you going to do? Are you going to stand put, take one, and maybe trade Michael Gallup? Or are you going to trade backwards and get more picks and see if somebody want to move up in front of you and get those guys? It's a lot of questions, but the Dallas Cowboys must get their guy. Now, the hard part is the second round. The second round, you have to hit. We need a safety.
Right.
Because like BJ said the other day, a lot of guys we got on 1-year deals. There's not the only guy was what? Basham? Basham was the only pass rusher on more than a 1-year deal. All right, everybody else is gone. So these are the replacements for these guys to leave next year. If you don't get these guys, we're back to square one again.
Well, and look, and let's be clear. I've been on the train of leading up to this draft. The first couple of months that we don't need 10 picks. However, man, I'm looking around this thing. Man, we might
use every last one.
We might need to use every last one to fill the damn team right now with the way that we've handled free agency. I'm scary, Joseph. I saw your question. Took that question. We will be doing questions towards the end of the show.
Here's another thing to consider. Okay, granted, a lot of these players are taking 1-year deals because the TV cap's going to be moving up next year for the TV deal, right? So, are we going to spend higher cap money on these players? I would say no. So, if Keanu O'Neal plays decent and he's getting match offers from other places, are we going to want to give him a competitive offer at this point?
Baby. Comp picks, baby.
These 1-year deals. Next year, we're going to have 16 picks coming into the, and that's what I'm saying. Like these 1-year deals, it's like, all right, you want to kind of bring these guys in as a rental. Okay, you rent it. They end up playing and performing well. I don't think we're going to turn back the next year and sign this guy. Look at all this mix still out there.
I truly believe that the thing that he's in love, that Stephen Jones is in love with the most is, I'm going to get these guys for 1 year. I'm going to make them shine. They're going to go and get paid, Robert Quinn, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to get these comp picks, and eventually I'm going to make something pop. And I think he's in love with it. That's why I keep telling people this Gallup trade. They're not going to trade Gallup. At worst, if we get a 4th-round comp, he might get a 3rd-round comp. But they're not going to trade him. They want that comp pick.
That's why I call Stephen Jones CC. Cap and caps. Cap and comp. Cap and comp. That's what's about. Cap and comp.
And look, and mark it down right now. They haven't touched, and here's what you got to start thinking about when it comes to the draft a little bit. They haven't touched Amari's contract.
Right.
There's an out next year between June 1st and 5th, right, where they can get out of that, and they're scot-free. I'm just saying, depending on the year and how it plays out, man, we're going to really kind of take a look at that going forward. I guarantee we're going to circle back and talk about that. They don't touch that contract at any point between now and next offseason.
So let me ask you this. So during the season, should we be focusing on the productivity of Gallup versus Cooper? Is that really the matchup? Is seeing who's going to be in house? Because let's say, for instance, Gallup does step up to the plate. He's playing big. Then could Amari possibly be the guy that's going to be on the out because they can get out the deal? Like,
the one thing that I said was this when we drafted, whenever we drafted CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is more Cooper than he is Gallup.
Right.
And the one thing that I've always said about Gallup is Gallup brings something to the table that none of the other wide receivers bring.
Exactly.
So if I'm able to say, let's go to the numbers, right? And let's say Gallup's only going to cost $13 million. Well, Cooper, we're going to go ahead and appreciate you. It's been real. We're going to save this money, pay Gallup this 13. All right, CD, we put the 88 on you. It's time in your 3rd year to go be Cooper-esque, and we're going to keep Gallup doing the same thing down this way. I can see it happening. And then they'll be, hey, we'll let him ride, and things will happen. And, maybe that turns into this draft and what we take it in, possibly. Or
so
maybe
now it's starting to make more sense with that.
We'll talk about that later. So, but yeah, I mean that's a tuck thing for later. We'll tuck that for later. We'll put that in the stash. But yeah, man, back to what we're talking about here with this free agency, man. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. If you're on YouTube, Stargate Podcast, go ahead and hit that like, go ahead and hit that share. If you're on Facebook, appreciate you as well. Like and share. Also, when you get a chance, man, slide over to YouTube, Stargate Podcast, and hit that notification bell. And also, CFO is almost at 1,000.
Yeah, I think we're like 15 people away, man, from hitting our 1,000 mark. So. Go to CFO, Cowboys fans only. I'm actually doing a giveaway, man. So here's what the giveaway is, right? You got to go to the last video that I just posted. Got to subscribe. In the comment section, #CFO gang. And what that's going to do is going to put your entry into a drawing on draft night. We're giving up $200 up the prizes. Now, you can double dip that, right, by coming to the Star Game, the video that you're watching right now on YouTube, subscribe, and #Star Gang. You can get 2 entries. My guy Mo, that's in the chat, he's already on. I'm like, he's already on. Yeah, he's already in. Enter twice. Mo likes winning stuff, man. So go ahead. You guys can double dip. Draft night, we're going to be giving out tons of prizes when we do our live draft. Now, if we draft an edge rusher, no, we don't
bring that up over here. We don't talk about edge rushers at all.
Yes.
Look, edge rusher at 10, you're going to see Nick just shut his laptop.
Man, I'm out. Make it Joe, Brian.
I'm going to be like my guy from Puerto Rico in here. Bacardi 151 to the head, baby.
I might crack that 151 bottle
also,
over my head.
And also, too, we got a couple issues already we saw them kind of pop up on Twitter. Me and Tuck are giving away a jersey. Stargang and Tuck, we're giving away a jersey as well. Got to find it, man. Go through and look and find it. Find it on Twitter.
Bill, man.
Yeah, turn on that bell and find it. But let's go ahead and transition, man. Again, last word on free agency leading into the draft. I'll give you last word, then we're going to pivot into our next segment, guys. The rose petals, the tea leaves tell you.
I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest with you guys, because I think what's happening, I think what we really saw with the KJ Wright is that, as I've been saying, the Dallas Cowboys aren't as attractive as they think they are, right? So they're going to have to come with competitive offers. And you think of a guy of the caliber of Richard Sherman, you get someone like Richard Sherman in that office, and we slide over this low ball deal. You can take a look at that as a slap in the face and be like, hell no. Like, I'd rather retire than take that. So if the Cowboys are going to strike with the little bit that's left of free agency with these guys, they are going to have to come to the table and actually give competitive offers. It just is what it is. Just staying playing here in Dallas isn't going to be enough.
Spoony?
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't want Stephen Jones as my Secret Santa. I really wouldn't want him. He'll be the one where everybody's getting a nice gift. Who's a Santa? Oh, Stephen Jones. But I get an ashtray. And I wouldn't want that at all. But listen, it is what it is. This is something that we've been for the past 3 years. We know Stephen Jones is capable of making big moves. We see him do it to Amari Cooper. That was I believe the last of the move. He thinks that Dak Prescott was a big move. No, that was a must move because that's your quarterback.
But I'll say this about the Cooper thing. I felt like he only did the Cooper thing because things got bad throughout the season. They tried to go without it, and he covers mistakes, as he always says, Spoon.
Wide receiver by committee, and he especially in that offseason, he offered Sammy Watkins about $16 million. Thank God Sammy says no, go to the Chiefs because where's Sammy now?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just praying that Jerry Jones says, Steven, I'm giving you the keys. You mess up the vehicle. It's all torn, all messed up. You're from my genes. You're not making it look good. When Jerry was in charge, it was running, and we didn't mind the mistakes he made because we knew he would come back to it and get aggressive. This right here it's bad. It's so bad, and I don't understand. If the Cowboys are winning, different story. Mm-hmm. We haven't won in a long time. Long time. And I mean, my God, we going to another century. By the time we win, we'll have flying cars.
Right. It could possibly be 30 years. It could possibly be 30 years that we're looking at. That's crazy.
Listen, here's the thing. I would be excited if we was going to at least the NFC title game, but we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. We're still struggling to make the playoffs.
And look, and the big thing too, right, is that, everyone's talking about, and here's how Cowboys Nation has been funneled, is they're to the point where if we don't take defense at 10, then we're done, right? But we can't fix this defense and whatnot. Well, I can't blame them. I racked my head. I'm like, dude, there's other picks. We could do things the second through fourth rounds. There's so much. But again, it's I can't blame them because look at what we've added. I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. And unfortunately, on the flip side of that coin is no matter who you take at 10, it's not fixing this defense. It's just not. So I mean, it's boy, they look, as much as they fumbled the Dak bag last year during the negotiations with the tag, they fumbled free agency this year to me just as hard. I think at times he wants to be like these other teams, and you talk about these teams like the Packers, or you talk about Pittsburgh and stuff like that, where they don't spend a whole lot. However, but they spend timely is what they do. They spend timely. So like they went and got the Smith brothers up there in Green Bay to help turn their defense around, and Preston and the other guy, right? You see, the Steelers. Oh, let's go get Mika Fitzpatrick, right? Like they do timely things. And you can kind of see the Cowboys do, but I mean, Amari Cooper timely thing was how long ago, guys? Like we can't keep harping like, oh, well, you went and got Amari Cooper. look, he did that, man. That's man. Look, we would have gotten him, paid him. He's here, like that. Like, cool, you did that. Show me again. Come back to the table. Show me again. Right. So, the idea that Steven is doing these things to acquire talent, even in the trade market, is like you did that in Robert Quinn.
Right.
Let's get off the gas a little bit. So,
right.
But with that being said,
I was gonna say it wasn't an aggressive move. It was a damn. I messed up. I gotta clean something up. We got to, I thought we could move on from Dez, bring in Allen Hurts and these guys, and be like, this ain't working. So, and Jerry probably said, fix it. And like, all right, well, gotta get to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, let me go over and get Coop. Yeah,
I hope Jerry had the belt in his hand and do like back in the day and say, smell this leather.
Right.
Make this work and do it again, Jerry. Do it again. So
that being said, though, let's get some of this draft. Now we know it's our first show here in April, and it's officially Smokescreen, Lies,
and one mixtape.
Yeah, everything is happening. So I'm gonna start off with a couple, and I'm gonna get y'all's reaction to it. So let me go ahead and start with number 3. All right, we know the San Francisco 49ers traded it to number 3, and they said Mac Jones, that's their guy. And they was like, oh hell no way, get that out of here. They were at his pro day, and then you backdoored just 2 days ago, and you had Adam Schefter on ESPN Radio said that he would be shocked that Mac Jones is not the 3rd pick. So with that being said, Mac Jones at 3, is that the possibility? Do you expect Mac Jones to go 3rd now?
I won't say 3rd. I would say in top 10 because it also announced he's going to be showing up to the draft in Cleveland. So I think there's some type of insight that he's going to be going top 10 now. I think they just announced that Phil's going to do a second pro day for Ohio State. So maybe he's trying to make a late push to be that 3rd pick. But, it sounds like Mac Jones, has moved up into a top 10, option for one of these teams. Now, will it be 3? I don't know. Personally, he wouldn't for me. But, maybe there's something that they like in San Francisco and Mac Jones that they're going to make the move. But I think, honestly, it'll be Fields probably before Mac Jones. But I think he'll go top 10, which we definitely need. I'm pulling for Mac Jones to go top 10. So
yeah, that dad bod in full effect. Mac Jones at 3. Adam Schefter said he's going to be surprised that Mac Jones is not the name called number 3 for the Niners. What do you think, Spoon? You buying or selling the smoke here?
Before I go, David Jenkins, what happened in Chief? Okay, so Cowboy Nation. We are cheering for the 49ers to go and draft Mac Jones.
Yo, absolutely.
We want that.
That's not what I'm asking you, Spoon. Okay. I'm asking you, do you buy the smoke with Adam Schefter even saying he'll be surprised if number 3 is not Mac Jones? Do you think the Niners are going to take Mac Jones?
No, I'm with Tuck. I think he's going top 10, but it won't. I think it's between Trey Lance and Justin Fields.
Okay.
In my opinion, Justin Fields' pro day will be April 14th. The Niners will be at the Niners will attend definitely. I think with Fields and Lance, they offer more athletic ability. They have a great arm. Listen, Fields was considered the second best quarterback in this draft. Some argue even the best quarterback ahead of Trevor Lawrence, who's going number 1 overall. So, in my opinion, I'm gonna say no. It's between Trevor and Trey.
All right, real quick, and we're talking quarterbacks here, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. Y'all okay with that?
Sure.
So looking like we're gonna get 4, maybe 5 in the top 10.
Right.
On your big board, who's your number 1 quarterback? I'll start with you, Spoonie.
Number 1 is Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Tuck?
Yeah, I got Lawrence, number 1.
You know what? I've switched.
Switched to Wilson?
I no.
Ooh.
Man, and this kind of goes against some of my pet peeves when it comes to drafts and stuff like that. I think Justin Fields is the number 1 quarterback in this field.
Hey.
I think I got Justin Fields as my number 1 quarterback. I still got a little time leading up right now. I think my QB1 is Justin Fields right now.
Okay.
But wait.
No, BJ, that's not a bad look. Listen, we always listen. Let's go back to a couple of years ago with Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, by NFL scouts, was pushing to the 3rd round. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, in the number 10 overall pick, 7 teams were trying to trade up to get Pat Mahomes. Justin Fields was considered the best quarterback or the second last year, December. All of a sudden, we see Zach Wilson. Listen, I always say the draft is like the streets. It's a hustle.
Right.
We got to make sure to amp somebody up. So
Right.
that way,
they should come up every year. I thought Wilson was going to be the guy. Then here came Mac Jones, and I'm like, shout out to my guy Buddha. I got Buddha like 2 months ago. Was on the Mac Jones train, the top 15. Shout out to him on that.
Yeah, shout out to Buddha.
I'm gonna tell you what, guys. One of my pet peeves. It is what it is, and I was kind of railing against it. But hey, man, there's yet to be a 6'6" quarterback be successful in this league.
Right.
Is Trevor Lawrence really that? Is Sunshine going to do it? Going to Jacksonville with that rookie head coach?
I said it. I'm not sold on. Everyone talks about the other guy that we talk about not being generational. I don't see generational in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I think he popped on the scene.
Right. And then he played for Clemson. He won a few games, beat Alabama. I get all that.
It's kind of happened throughout. So some surgeries or whatever. Look, I like. Don't get me wrong. I like Lawrence. I do like Lawrence, but the 6'6" just kind of sticks in my gall just a little bit. I think Justin Fields. Look, Wilson arm talent looks pretty crazy. I get it with Wilson. And he's getting that. All of a sudden, he's getting the Patrick Mahomes-esque, all the arm talent, smaller school, so on and so forth. But to me, man, here's the thing that I look at traits-wise when it comes to quarterbacks. There's no Big Ten this year if it wasn't for Justin Fields stepping up to the plate and saying, "Hey, we want to play. Put it on me." Then go watch him get hurt, come back in those playoff games, and watch what he did. I think again, we've seen a lot of Ohio State quarterbacks come through that and be this and that. I think Fields is the one that breaks the mold. No different whenever I thought that Baker Mayfield was going to be the guy that broke the mold in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma was a big bugaboo for me at quarterbacks. And I think this is kind of the same thing here for Ohio State. So Justin Fields for me is my number one. But with that being said, we're going to number 4, Atlanta. Here's the smoke with Atlanta. All right, let's get to the smoke. The smoke with Atlanta is head coach believes Matt Ryan has 2 years left. GM wants to take a quarterback. And then it's also, hey, Atlanta's quite okay trading out of number 4. All right, what are we buying and selling within that smoke, guys? What are we buying and selling? Do we think there's a rift here between that, or is it just make-believe? Are they looking to really trade out, or is quarterback really their guy? What do you think, Tuck?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of smokescreen. I think Atlanta will stay put at the 4 position unless someone gives them an incredible offer and they have to move out of it. But I think they're in the field for looking for a quarterback. Don't get it twisted. And I feel like I've kind of learned my lesson personally. Don't get caught up in the smoke, because I bit the apple the other day with the Sam Darnold thing. Like, the Jets rolled out their season tickets, had Sam Darnold all on the banners and everything, and then boom, he was gone. And so, you hear one thing, but they'll do another. So if it's me, I'm thinking that Matt Ryan may have another year. They might go for a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance if they're available, stash him for a year to learn under Matt Ryan, and eventually they move on from Matt Ryan. They have the new quarterbacking house. So I think that the Falcons are in the quarterback market, to be honest with you.
Okay, Spoony, are we buying the trade scenario? Are we buying the quarterback? Are we buying that maybe the coach wants to go get Sewell to protect Matt Ryan for the 2 years? What do you think they're talking about in-house there in Atlanta?
I'm definitely buying the trade. I'm buying the trade that if somebody I'm predicting, I take the New England Patriots would be the team to go up to number 4, to trade with the Atlanta Falcons for that number 4 pick, give up the first round pick next year. They're going to get Mac Jones. Saban, Belichick, friends, we know what it is.
Right.
That's my hot take right there. They'll give that first round pick for next season. They'll move up and they'll get Mac Jones. And the Falcons will go next season.
Yeah, I think if they stick and pick, if Fields is there, I think that's the pick. He's Atlanta native anyways. If not, it wouldn't surprise me if Trey Lance is the pick there. Especially if the coach is talking about 1-2 years of Matt Ryan. Trey Lance might need a little bit longer, perhaps. He definitely might need to sit for 1 year. Maybe that's the pick that goes there. Go ahead, Tuck. What you have for me?
I was going to say, so why do you think that the Patriots would move up to 4 for Mac Jones? Because if Mac Jones gets past the 49ers, there really isn't any team in the quarterback market.
Actually, now Mac Jones is big for Carolina.
But also saying,
and one of the reasons that Carolina traded for let me be clear. One of the reasons they traded for Sam Darnold is they don't think Mac Jones is going to be there. However, if Mac Jones makes it to Carolina, that will be the pick. Book it. Your guy Nick said it.
And Denver. You got Denver too waiting in the spot because Denver ready.
So I was thinking maybe Detroit would probably be their option.
We'll get to that smoke. We got more smoke. We got more smoke. We got more smoke. We're just on ATL smoke right now. We're just on the ATL good smoke right now. So, final thing, you think they're going to stick and pick a quarterback, Tuck? Do you think big trade coming for them?
Yes.
Look, here's what I always believe. I always believe if you can get your guy, look, the most important position, and I live by this, I die by this, is quarterback. And if you're in position to get a guy, then you have to get a guy. Matt Ryan's 36 right now.
Right.
It's a new regime there. I think it's a lot of smoke. I think yes. Would they entertain the trade? I think so. Right. I mean, you have to. You're going to listen. But if your guy's there, and I think this is probably because they know there's 3 quarterbacks going in front of them, there might be a quarterback they want at 4. If their quarterback is at 4, I think they're taking that quarterback. If not, then maybe you see a trade. But there's a quarterback they want at 4. I think they're absolutely pulling that trigger because you don't have to look. You have to be San Francisco and trade up and go get your guy.
Right.
You stick and pick right now, and you can live with the rest later.
But BJ, you forget about your friend.
Who?
Don't forget about your friend, BJ.
My friend.
You see, we leaving your friend out the cold right now. Remember, there was another guy originally was supposed to be a quarterback in the top 10. Name is Kyle Trask.
Right.
So
Atlanta
can always get him in the number 15 overall pick, and if they wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think Trask is going. Look, I don't think Trask is going to go first round.
Right.
Personally, but I do think. Again, I'm gonna go back and watch some more Trask. Trask feels like that guy Kirk Cousins to me. Very accurate. Maybe doesn't push it very well outside the boundaries.
Right.
I'm gonna go back and watch some more of him. But I do think he's a guy that you might see go in the second round, though. But neither here nor there. Let's get to the next smoke.
Okay.
Let's get to the next smoke. Right. We got to the Bengals. Here's the smoke with the Bengals. Right. A little bit of smoke, not as much as the first 2 teams we just talked about. A little bit of smoke here. Well, apparently Joe Burrow is pressuring the front office to go take Jamar Chase. There's so much smoke behind that the Eagles said, well, if we ain't getting Jamar, we're out. Peace. And they traded out. So are we buying? Are we going to buy Jamar Chase smoke, Joe Burrow pushing? Are you buying Jamar Chase smoke at number 5? Spoony?
Whew. They did sign an offensive lineman this offseason, correct?
Yeah, they did some work offensive line this offseason.
Listen, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. You know, listen, when you got your franchise quarterback, you want him to be happy. You want him to produce. Burrow's produced greatly in LSU with Jamar Chase, right? Yeah. Now, as long as you got the protection you need, and there's still going to be solid line depth.
I mean, they cooked a couple of corners that could be in Dallas this year for sure.
That?
They cooked a couple of cornerbacks that could be in Dallas this year for sure. That Burrow and Chase combo.
Right. So listen, I'm buying it. I'm buying Chase to the Bengals. I don't see how you can do it.
As Professor O checking in, appreciate you, Professor O, as always. Signed Riley Reef in the building. I think they have another signing too, maybe not as big as Riley Reef, but they added some more depth there. And we have to think they did lose AJ Green. He's out the door. And they lost John Ross as well, right? So they've lost 2 quarterbacks. They lost 2 wide receivers. So, yeah, I mean, you got to definitely throw that out there. So Jamar Chase smoke that Burrow's pushing. What do you think there, J. Tuck?
Oh, this is a tricky one, man, to be honest with you.
It is.
Like you said, they do have the relationship. You saw what Burrow and Chase did at LSU. But your quarterback did just come off an injury. And it's like sometimes like, hey, man, I know it's your guy, but we need to keep you protected. And so I feel like the Bengals will probably go with Sewell. That will probably be their pick, man. To be honest with you, like get a left tackle. You got your quarterback. You want to protect him. And then unfortunately, you can text your homeboy later. But I think the Bengals will go Sewell with that pick to get the protection for your quarterback because you're going to need it, man, especially coming off his injury. So,
all right, now I got to press you now. Now I got to press you. I'm going to press you. I'm going to use your own words against you, J. Tuck.
Yeah.
You had that nice tweet that you said you had that clarity. Is I talk about Pitts and Chase because I can get everything else later in the draft than these 2 guys. Let's apply that logic to Cincinnati here.
I was thinking for the Bengals. I mean, thinking for the Cowboys, not for the Bengals, man. I don't know what they method is, man. I don't know nothing about them, man. I'm talking about for you, bro.
He wants takes the 4.
I'm not, hey, look, hey, it'd be look. I'm not going to complain if Chase made it to 10.
Right.
You know, for me, shout out to my guy, Mr. Roman, the building Cowboys fan talk only. You know, man, I think this also goes back to, hey, you got a young quarterback, right? You got your guy. What do you want to do for your guy? You want to, you unlike us who took like 3 years to sign our guy, man, you want to make him comfortable.
Right.
You want to make him comfortable. Hey, there's an opportunity where possibly, right, Burrow doesn't play for over half the season with the injury so late. Right. So with that being said, why not make him feel better during rehab? Hey, when you get back, your guy Chase is waiting for you. You got Ace and Higgins out there, man, looks pretty good. And again, I'm going to use Tuck's words against him. Hey, I look, we go get offensive lineman later. Yeah, we get there. We get Liam Etchenberg right there. You know, the Bengals go get with Etchenberg there at the top half or whatnot. So I'm buying the smoke. I think now we'll have to see if Cincinnati believes in him or not. But I do buy the smoke that Burrow's pushing, and it's an option. Now that takes us to the Dolphins. I'll be honest with you, there's just not much smoke there with the Dolphins right now. No. Not really much being said. There was early smoke with would they go get a quarterback that's having issues down in Houston? We don't want to touch that here. We'll let the legalities do that. That's not for us to talk about. You know, we don't do that here on this channel. So there was an idea that they might go do something. They wasn't believing in Tua. You know, we saw them trade out and then from 3 to trade back to 6. Obviously, they're probably hoping for a chance to get Chase. To me, it's a weapon. Maybe they go get one guy from Bama. But that too, we're going to use the same. We'll copy and paste here. Devontae Smith or Waddle right here for Tua. Or hey, man, they either got John Gesicki there at tight end, right? But there's also Mr. Pitts in there. But they did lose the linebacker in Calvin. We know the head coach is a Bill Belichick disciple. Maybe this is where part of smoke there to be had. So let's go on to the name that is Detroit. Is some smoke. Detroit is, oh man, we'll trade out. Oh man, if a quarterback lands in the take, we need weapons. They lost Golladay, they lost Marvin Jones. They need weapons as well. So Jay Tuck, are we buying the trade back?
Yeah. I think Detroit is the biggest trade candidate to be next up. I think that's going to be the option for Detroit. So I think if New England wants to, like I said, move up and go get their Mac Jones, I feel like this is the move because I feel like if you're going to go to 4, you're going to have to leverage a lot more than you have to do to move up, to 7 for Detroit. So I feel like there's a trade opportunity because they got Jared Goff, they got everything in house for the most part. So I feel like they can trade back. They probably want to go defensively, as you mentioned. And there's gonna. I feel like after like the 10th pick, after we pick, that's where you're gonna see the defensive guys really start to fly off the board. And I think that's where Detroit really wants to be. So I can see them being the prime trade back candidates to be next up.
Okay, all right, Spoonie. Are we buying quarterback? Are we buying trade out? Are we buying weapon? What smoke are you buying here from Detroit right now?
I'm buying defense, and I'm buying a cornerback for Detroit.
Really? Whoa. Even though they've already said willing to trade, they're already said willing to take a quarterback. That we know we have golf in building.
Right.
They lost. They had T.J. Hawkinsaw, right? Fair, right? But then they also Galladay's gone, Marvin Jones is gone, and they went last year. What was it? 4th overall were Akuda, right at corner. So you're still thinking here though, maybe a Parsons, maybe a Surtain. You think so? You think defense over there?
I think Surtain. Listen. I think Surtain. End of the day, there was wording that they didn't like. But of course, it's a new team now, new management. They didn't like Okuda. There was a rumor about trading him. And also, when you're in a division like Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers, you got Minnesota with their new toy Justin Jefferson. You got the Chicago Bears. They got Andy Dalton. I know they're gonna have a way better offense next season. You want that number 1 corner, especially that if they are trying to get rid of Jeff Okuda, you're gonna want that number 1 corner. So I think Surtain definitely fits the bill for Detroit. Like I said, unless somebody falls at their number and somebody gives them an offer they can't refuse, I think they're taking Surtain.
Okay, now let's say we're talking this thing out. Pitts is at 7. You're the Cowboys. You're giving up number 75 to go get Pitts at 7.
Yeah.
That and a sandwich. What else you want?
And a bag of chips.
Bag of chips too. 2 bags of chips.
Okay. 2 bags of chips, he says. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think personally, I don't think they're gonna get rid of Okudah. Right. You just got him last year. It's a different coaching staff there.
Right.
I think you have something to me, Parsons, even though now there's some other news I posted today about, Parsons in high school and stuff. And one of the reasons why all of us, I guess, really, I should say, have been consistently out on purpose for us. It's not the talent. It's just, whether it was high school, talking about yelling gun and different things. And, and then different things whenever he was at Penn State and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little dicey with Parsons. But, again, the lights are different in Detroit. Parsons could go there. And it probably wouldn't be a big deal.
Everything will fade away. So it'll fade to black in Detroit. It's not going to fade to black in Dallas.
Right. So I mean, you're right. I mean, this could be a defensive pick, but I mean, if Trey Lance is on the board, maybe that's the pick as well. They got Goff in house. All right, I can sit Trey Lance for a year, and then backdoor that you have a rookie head coach. So one thing I always look at when we talk about these teams and what they're doing, if you have a rookie head coach, you know what they want to do? They want to hitch their wagon to a rookie quarterback. It guarantees me 4 or 5 years most of the time. So again, if there's the right quarterback there, I think they could take quarterback. But I'm with you though, Spoon. This could be where we see the first defensive player leave the board. Let's fast forward to the Panthers now at number 8. They've also said, well, if a quarterback falls, and I think this is when they talk about quarterback falls, I think this is the Mac Jones scenario. Outside of Mac Jones, Trey Lance maybe. I don't think Trey Lance is going to make it to him though, to be honest. But Mac Jones, I think, outside of that, I mean, they could go they go a multitude of ways. To me, I circle left tackle for them. That's where I circle because you have Cam Irving and Little that's going to battle for your starting left tackle. Doesn't sound really good. Sounds like Slater or Sewell if one of those guys are there. But the smoke is when it comes to the Panthers, possible trade they've mentioned and quarterback falling in their lap. Guys, Tuck, I'll start with you. What do you think about the smoke coming out of Carolina right now?
Yeah, I think, the Panthers are kind of the wild card, but now since they got Sam Darnold, just like you mentioned, you want to protect him. You don't want to bring in Sam Darnold and put him back in the same predicament that he was in New York. So you want to get him for protection. You mentioned they don't have a left tackle. So I would think, based on what we've done thus far, Sewell or Slater still available, I think, because we haven't taken Sewell off the board, right? I don't think we have.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe Cincinnati. Maybe
Cincinnati. So give or take, I feel like it's going to be either of the tackles there, whether it's Slater or Sewell, because you want to get that protection for Sam Darnold. So I think this is going to be their move.
Quick question from my guy Dom White. Does fantastic work in breaking down prospects. Says, who are y'all concerned about taking Pitts? Any teams looking to hurdle into the top 10 for him? I'll be honest, as the lay of the land is, sure. I think Cincy, a little bit of nervousness with Cincy, not as much as Miami. Miami definitely is the bugaboo for me. I think if he gets past Miami, I don't really think he's going to. I think it's clear sailing, guys, if he gets past Miami. Personally, sure, could Carolina take him? Sure.
Yeah, I feel like, I was going to say that. For me, I feel like the Panthers are kind of the wild card because I just don't know what they're going to do. And, they're familiar with having Greg Olsen in the house, and they might just say, you know what, there's a weapon right there. Let's just take him and move on. So I feel like the Panthers are a wild card, but also, man, I've been saying the Falcons. The Falcons scare me as well. They're sitting there at 4.
That's some smoke. That's some smoke as well that we didn't cover. The Falcons with the meetings and talking to Pitts. That is some smoke. I think that's all smoke, though, personally. But you buy it a little bit.
Yeah, I buy a little bit, man. Because think about it. You got Matt Ryan in house. You got, Ridley. You got, Julio Jones. You're kind of playing with house money right now. And you just go add another weapon and load up the clip and keep Matt Ryan for another 2 years. So
let's help our guy. Let's help our guy James Gary out. Can
we pivot and talk about that? I want to talk about that.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Look, man. We've kind of, and that was basically the smoke. There's some Cowboys smoke. Right. That we want to talk about a little bit. We'll backdoor the Cowboys smoke because this is definitely the thing. And it's funny because we were talking about this off camera before we came on tonight about, this all of a sudden hate, whatever. And look, Gary even doubled down with my fellow Cowboys fans, please calm down. there's a reason why there's a method to the madness when you tune into this channel here and why we talk about those things. And with that being said, I'm going to roll that out to my guy Tuck because I know he's been killing it on Twitter. So by all means, this Kyle Pitts hype is out of control. Put it in for us who've been driving. And look, for me, Pitts, or excuse me, Tuck, and Sweeney, who've been riding this train since late last year to early this year, all the way throughout before it exploded on Cowboys Nation. Here's the reasons why. Go ahead there, Tuck.
Because what really happened, right? It feels like, me, you, Spoon, Mary, we were sitting in the backyard just chilling, flicking a lighter, playing with fire, right? It's kicking around, having a good time. And all of a sudden, a flame kind of started. We tried to stump it out. And all of a sudden, whoosh, wildfire, right? But what people don't understand, the reason why us on this channel were talking about Pitts and banging so hard on the drum for it was for valid reasons because of the depth and the opportunity that he brings to his offense, making a strength, pretty much overpowering it because we're thinking about competing with Kansas City and kind of getting that caliber. Now, what has happened amongst Cowboys Nation? This thing has steamrolled. So you see people that have no idea what's really going on. They're tweeting, they're posting Kyle Pitts, Kyle Pitts, Kyle Pitts. It's on ESPN. You saw the comments today. Let's be clear, right? There was actually two things, and I want to kind of pivot to the Cowboys smokes, but there was two things that broke today, right? What was the first one? Jerry Jones.
Chris Mortensen.
Chris Mortensen. Jerry Jones has a fascination with Kyle Pitts, right? But there was another story that nobody is talking about. The Cowboys have now talking to Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn.
Right.
But no one cares because that doesn't get any hysteria. No one cares about that because that's what people have found out. There's Kyle Pitts, there's hype, Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, boom, here we go. It's going to carry us for the next 3 weeks. And Nick said this, watch out for the smoke screens, watch out for all the hype. So what we have now is what we also see a lot that goes across social media. I call it contrarian disease. You guys see Kyle Pitts in the Star Gang group. You go on Twitter. You turn on your radio stations. They're talking about it on 105 through the Fan. You turn on ESPN. And you just like, you know what? I hate the guy. I don't want him. But you have no really valid reason to say why you do not want him. Look me in the eye and have a clear conversation. Say he does not help this team. Give me that. My guy, Boss Cowboy, he's attempting to do that. He's kind of, Nick's did a great job. But you guys can really not say if we were to get this caliber player in Dallas, he does not have an instant impact and fix a drastic need, which is the tight end position. Because I don't care what you want to say about Blake Jarwin, he's coming off an ACL injury. We need to get better in the middle of the field, and also red zone has been a critical issue. He creates more matchup problems for our wide receiver core and also for Ezekiel Elliott. That's not the conversation. What you guys is constantly seeing his name pop up, and you hate him. If it was Parsons, right, and we were pumping Parsons, you guys would have hated Parsons too by now because you're seeing it every day. I see people on Twitter who don't even watch a lick of college football. They're like, I'm muting Kyle Pitts. I don't want to hear anything about it. You don't know nothing about him. You're just tired of seeing him. So I feel like that's where a lot of people are. So I get it. It's contrarian disease, but don't say it's about football reasons because it doesn't apply with him.
Yeah.
Sorry to get on my soapbox, but I've been holding that in.
You're okay. I think we're all going to get on the soapbox because I'm going to take my turn and get on the soapbox. Let me dispel a couple of things that are out there, right? He's not a big wide receiver. He's not David Funchess. Okay, right. Stop. He's not a wide receiver. Right. He's an inline guy that can do multiple things. All right, that's number one. Number two, I hear, well, he can't block. I'm like, no, actually, he blocks just as good as Jarwin right now, if not better. Look, and I'm a Blake Jarwin guy. Spoon will tell you if you listen to the show for many years, I used to call Jaws Gang and everything. I was excited when we drafted him. But when I look at the brass tacks of it, your best ability is availability. And he hasn't been on the field. Well, we got hurt last year, Knicks. I said fair. But let's go back to 2019. Whenever, Jason Witten, the GOAT, retired. Jarwin couldn't beat out Jeff Swan for the starting position.
Right.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
We're still talking about Rico gathers, and we need more Rico.
We need more Rico. So he's going to walk in and start. Then I hear, there's too many wide receivers. There's not enough balls to go around. Well, let me stop you right there because we had the same wide receivers last year, and Dalton Effin Schultz got 70-plus targets for 63 catches.
Right.
Like anything that you want to bring and talk about as it pertains to Pitts and why you don't want him, I can combat it because it's easy. Man, I do this in my sleep.
Right.
On the same token, you're taking a great offensive team and making them amazing. You're going up a level, right? You're moving this team forward. Look, if you're not going to invest in your defense the right way, we've been through free agency. Look, and I guarantee you, every single guy right here on this, and if Mary was here too, would tell you if there was a Chase Young, a Jalen Ramsey, a Aaron Donald, man, we would be banging the table for that person because that person transcends your defense.
Right.
It's not there. Look, I don't care if you're Team Horn. I don't care if you're Team Sertan. They're not there. It's not going to help this defense. So I need to be even better on offense. How do I get better? How can I help this defense? If I score more points in the red zone, that other team, hey, guys, we give 155 yards rushing last year. We've been terrible against the run for 2, 3, 4 years straight. Guess what? They become one-dimensional. They can't just sit back and run the ball anymore. They got to start putting it in the air, and that's what Pitts brings to this. It's not that we think Pitts is, it was generational and all that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about generational. We're talking about if we throw Pitts into this ring with this offense and what's happening, this offense, as good as it was with Dak, now everyone says, right, man, this offense had hiccups early, and then they were greater, in the second half. Well, Pitts helps this offense not have the hiccups early because he's going to be a mismatch in the middle of the field where you got to win anyways. So not only does he help the guys on the outside, hey, you want to load the box? By all means, go for it. Now you got these 4 guys, and the 4 guys I'm talking about: Gallup, Cooper, Pitts, and CD. Now you want to see Zeke get back to being Zeke? Oh, well, we can't load the box. Well, guess what Zeke's about to do? A whole lot of this.
Right.
So it helps those 2 guys. It helps the run game. It helps Dak in the middle of the field. It helps the red zone. We'll score more points so they can't run the ball against us. Tell me a better pick at 10 that helps us do all those things. And that's why we talk about Pitts the way that we do on this channel, but we bring it with substance, not just because we heard it, because we've been doing this shit for 3-4 months now talking about Pitts. If you just got here, welcome. Appreciate you. Stick around. We don't do the 4-letter ESPNs. No, this is what we do here. And that's what it boils down to. And that's just kind of what it is. Again, if there was that defensive guy, look, if Chase Young was on the board at 10, guess what I'm saying? You take Chase Young over Pitts.
We move up. If this was last year, right? As much as I love CeeDee Lamb, I'm trying to do whatever I can to get Chase Young. And we already have edge rushers in house, but he changes your deep. You have to come out and scheme around Chase Young. If we bring in Kyle Pitts, game 1, opening week, you have to scheme for this. If we play, let's say we play Atlanta, first game of the season, they're not going to game plan around Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn. They're not. But if you come out with Ezekiel Elliott, Kyle Pitts, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup, they're going to be sitting back thinking, what the hell do we do with this? And it's the same thing that we go back to Kansas City. When teams play Kansas City, they get outside their comfort zone. They're thinking, man, I can't take a field goal right now. I gotta go for it, because if they get the ball back, they're going to score. That's the pressure that when you have an overpowered offense applies, which can help our defense.
And here with Matt Owen as well says, and you're probably right, Parsons is the best defensive BPA guy.
Right.
We can't take him here. And on top of that, look, let me do this. Let me take you even a step further with the off-the-field issues. Look, we've seen it in free agency. The KJ Wright thing happened. Man, even though they haven't picked up the 5th-year option on LVE, they really think that LVE and Jalen Smith are going to go back to 2018.
Right.
So I don't think they would take a linebacker even now at 10. Go ahead, Spoon. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Spoon.
I need everybody sit around Uncle Spoonie.
There you go.
2-part story. Sit around Uncle Spoonie. Here's the deal. 1998 NFL draft. I was there live. I've been going to the draft since 97. 98 draft. The draft back then was more harder for fans. It wasn't like family oriented, how nice it is where you get to go run the 40 time with the kids and hug each other and smile. No, it was rough. when you went to the NFL draft, you're dealing with fan base from all over the world. All over the world. All right? Now, when you go into the draft, it wasn't like you get a ticket and you just go to the draft. No, you wait at 5 a.m. You have to wait online for the MSG. Don't get off the line. And first come, first serve for a ticket. When we get into the auditorium, it was reckless. Reckless. Security was kicking people out left and right, left and right, left and right. Your boy Spoony had to get it going down. Right. All right? The Cowboys are on the clock, number 8. Greg Ellis. What Cowboys fans did that day, listen, I'll tell you like this. It wasn't pretty. Outside bottles were thrown. It was rumbles. It was so many different things. It was fun for my time. But see, that thing don't happen right now. When we took Greg Ellis and Randy Moss went number 21 to the Minnesota Vikings, we paid for it every time we saw that man. You know why? Because Jerry Jones the night before came out and said to Moss, hey, we're going to draft you at number 8. But you know what happened? Chan Gailey, good old Chan Gailey says, no, I don't want Randy Moss. I don't want him. Now, Jerry Jones, who people claim they don't listen to anybody, he listened. And we could have had Randy Moss or Michael Irvin.
But and Cowtown here says, "Hello, he won't be there. Keep wasting your time, though." I mean, let's be clear here. It's content right now, my guy Cowtown. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
But that proves it. It's like, he won't be there. Dak's not going to. That's what I'm saying. It's stupid because here's the thing. How can you sit there and tell me Pitts isn't going to be there, but Surtain is? That's basically you telling me that Pitts is a better caliber prospect. What are we saying? So you're telling me in a passing league that a lockdown corner is going to be there at 10, but just a tight end? There's a reason why you're saying, he won't be there, because he's that damn good. It's that simple. What are we talking about?
Here's the deal with that. So Randy Moss gone to Minnesota. For years, Jerry Jones was getting hit. We should have took Moss. But because of the off-the-field incident in Marshall in college,
right,
that was the reason why. So now here it goes. Last season, we changed all that. CeeDee Lamb there, number 17. We should have took Cleveon Chase on, right? We needed defense. No, we took CeeDee. Some of you guys, not all, but some, were saying, we don't need CeeDee. We need pass rush. We need defense. Did anybody look at Cleveon Chase on stats with Jacksonville?
Right.
He's still trying to grow. CeeDee Lamb made an impact when Dak was here. Now, when Dak went, he would have made an even bigger impact if Dak would have played the whole full season. Now, going forward, Jerry Jones knows football. Let's stop the bullshit.
Right.
The man played football. He knows football. He's more than an owner.
He played football like half a century ago. But yeah, it was 2 yards on a cloud of dust. But he played.
DJ. Number 8, he's seen a talented play here.
Yeah,
where everybody's looking at is tight end. Look at that tight end. Don't look at tight end. Look at the player.
Right.
We just witnessed 2 things in the championship between the Buccaneers and
the Go back to Spoon. Go back to the last 3 years of Super Bowls and go name those tight ends.
Right.
The Zach Ertz, the Rob G's,
there you
right?
go.
The Travis Kelce's.
Make a big difference.
Like we have to start thinking like this, guys. But the NFL is an ever evolving game, right? It's ever evolving. There was a time like you took that beast running back top 5. Right. That's how you won, right? And things changed and moved on, and now maybe you don't do that anymore. And now we get back to tight ends or whatever. And look, right? There's not a bit of tight end, and here's the 2 sides of the coin. There hasn't been a tight end taken in the top 5 in 49 years. Mike Dick was the last guy. Since then, over the past 20 years, you had TJ Hawkinshaw over there at the Lions go 8, and then you had Kellen Winslow Jr. and Vernon Davis. Then they both went 6, right? But we're looking how these things now we can say, well, they found Waddle in what round, or they found a Kittle in what round. This is a copycat league, right? And you're seeing a guy that's coming across whose measurables, the things that he brings to the table, things of that ilk. line up to do those things. So then you say, yeah, we want to go be there. It's a copycat league.
Right.
And as my guy Hopkins was saying a little earlier, and I missed it, bro. I'm sorry, Ryan. He was talking about, well, why wouldn't you go get an offensive lineman to help Zeke anyways? And it's like, but getting Pitts is going to help Zeke even more because the offensive line is back healthy. Because if none of these guys get hurt, then Sewell's not playing left tackle.
Right, exactly.
Right. I mean, Slater might play left guard for you, but there's no guarantee if you take a tackle at 10 that they're going to play. There's no guarantee of that.
Here's my thing. How can you argue with me that we should take Jalen Waddle, man, because he gives us that Tyreek Hill type aspect, but me getting a Travis Kelce type aspect isn't okay? Like that's what I don't understand. Like a lot of people, like, y'all want speed. Y'all here it's a copycat league, just like Nick said. Think about it. 2020 was the highest scoring across the league in NFL history. The rules are changing. The game is changing. More points are being scored because what everyone sat back and saw what Kansas City did, and eventually they're going to copy off their paper and try to emulate that. So you're seeing a lot more points being across the board where it's going to be looking like basketball on the football field. The old days of just running the game, it's gone.
And if you go, as Professor O said, 19 was Kelsey Kittle, 20 Kelsey Gronk, and if you go back to 18, it was Ertz and Gronk.
Right.
Like the proof is in the pudding, fellas. Right. The proof is in the pudding here.
And we could add on to that, Shannon Sharp. Now, Shannon Sharp spoke highly of Kyle Pitts, number 84 and 84. Right. That's who reminds me. Who I think Kyle Pitts reminds me of. Shannon Sharp. Right. Not the same build, of course, but compared to the traditional players that we used to, when he came out and said, that's a bad boy. Trust what I'm saying? And he was saying how Atlanta must take him at 4. When you look at a lot of these draft boards and you're saying Kyle Pitts being either number 2, number 1, number 3, number 5, or the comments saying he won't make it to the Cowboys, those are the guys that you want. Now, here's another thing. Y'all saying Surtain and Horn. Listen, we like Surtain and Horn, but besides Jalen Ramsey, give me in the last 5 years, a top cornerback was picked in the top 10 because Tre'Davious White was picked number 27, right? Darrell Revis was picked number 17, right? We picked Maurice Claiborne. Where's Claiborne at? Oh, we know what happened with that. We picked Tammy's Newman, number 6. Reality, gentlemen and ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all come on, go back to homework. The same way you guys are pushing for cornerbacks. We went top 10 in cornerbacks. How did that pan out for us? Not good at all. So my thing is this: you can still get yourself a quality cornerback in that second round.
Right. And as my guy Sandberg here, like Pitts may force other teams to play down like Bama had to.
Right.
And you're dictating, and this is the point that we've been making and talking about. You're dictating to the defense. You can't do what you want to do. Hey, you want to play down, but look, and back to the Hopkins talking about getting a Slater, right, or whatever. Right. If you're forcing teams to play down, what do you think Zeke's about to go do?
Right.
What do you think Zeke's going to do? Right. And you look, we had the video. Wait, hold on, Spoon. We had the video of Saban, right? And what did Saban say on the video just 2 weeks ago? Hey, when I came into this thing coaching, you played defense, you ran the ball. He goes, even me, guys, like, hey, I had to change what's going on and adapt to what's happening in this game now. You know, let me get a couple of shout outs here real quick, man. And Slater, look, and Slater will play, right? Okay, Slater will play. Do you think he's going to start day one? Is it going to beat out? Because he won't beat either tackle.
Right.
They won't put him over either tackle.
Connor Williams.
Right, Connor Williams.
Right.
But now Joshua Parker's in the building with the yo. What's going on, Joshua Parker? I see you. Come on, man. Fourth down Cowboys with a great point here. Fourth down Cowboys. Another argument people make for not taking Pitts. Dak has too many weapons, which is a weak argument, which we talked about and discussed earlier. Like again, Dalton Schultz last year got 70 targets. Over 70 targets with 63 receptions and 4 touchdowns. There's enough balls to go around. It's a silly argument. Man.
Hey, BJ, Matt Owens comment. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. It happens. You take the BPA. Things happen. And you're back to square one all over again.
Right.
And here's the other thing, too, that I don't get from Cowboys Nation when we start talking about Pitts. And look, if you've been here the entire time, we've laid out the litany of reasons. We have 9 other picks. Last year we took CeeDee Lamb. We ended up with Diggs. Everybody loves Diggs.
Right.
We ended up with Gallimore. Everybody loves Gallimore.
Right.
Like, you can still go help this defense. Look, if I'm going to circle all the way back around, guys. If there was that guy at 10 that transforms this defense, we all bang the table. Everybody.
It would be,
universal. We would say trade up immediately.
You guys have been on the show long enough to see we've been foaming at the mouth for freaking Earl Thomas, Jamal. So we understand there's a need at defense. What we are telling you, it isn't there. Like, it's just not there. And I think what happens is, a lot of people, 4-letter networks, they probably go about 2 rounds into the draft. That's all they know. We have searched and been deep into the 7th rounds on numerous mocks, on the after party shows, and a lot of times we link up on late nights. We let you guys know there's deep on defense, but there's not top 10 caliber defense players out there that serves our need. If it's going to be a top 10 player, it's going to be Parsons, which we all can agree we should be out on at the linebacker position. So it's just
FYI, North of the Star checking in. What's going North of the Star said we are thinking we need a starting cornerback, and by all accounts, Surtain can start day 1. I definitely agree with that. I think we all agree with that.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on, let me finish this real quick, and I got you. He goes, if the Cowboys take Pitts, they need to sign Hayward, Bouye, or Sherman. Real quick, North, Bouye's already signed with the Panthers.
Right.
Sherman has already came out and said he's not going to sign until after the draft. We know the Cowboys have called him. We'll have to wait and see, and maybe that's something that happens after the draft. But I'm with you. I think they need to add, for me, it's Hayward or Poole is who I'd like to see the Cowboys add before the draft. But no, you're right. I mean, even though they're going to draft a guy anyways outside of 10, they do need to add another veteran cornerback for sure. But go ahead, Tuck.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was like, but at this point, y'all, can we trust the Dallas Cowboys to go sign a Casey Hayward? Like, can we trust that they're going to go get another veteran corner that's a caliber starting day 1 guy until Surtain can cut his teeth and get acquainted? No, you can't. You can't trust it. So if we're going to go with Surtain, it's going to be Diggs, J. Lou, and Surtain on probably opening day. And that, honestly, for me personally, doesn't give me any more confidence than if it was Surtain and you take him out and plug in back in Cheeto. It really doesn't give me a boost of confidence with that. So I'm like, that's what we're trying to say is like, I'm thinking of value when it comes to defensively. Unfortunately, the 1 year that the Cowboys are in the top 10 and we need defense, but that guy just isn't there. It's this year.
Yeah. And that's the problem is free agency is supposed to fill your needs.
Right.
And then draft is supposed to be for talent. And unfortunately, we don't do a great job of filling our needs. That's why Cowboys Nation is so pressed at 10 to go out here and draft for need. I'll be, and unfortunately, the best defensive guy you can get at 10 is cornerback. But that's how you end up with a Bobby Carpenter, a Taco Charlton. That's what happens whenever you draft for need. Go ahead there, Spoon.
No, here's the thing. When listen, I love the draft. We all draft junkies. We eat it. We breathe it. We all may have different opinions, but here's my thing.
Agree for it down. That's what I said. Yeah. We had to go trade up for him. But if he was there,
we would all trade up. We go up. Yeah, we picking up Atlanta's phone like, hey, we need to move up to get this guy. Because,
absolutely. We're all going up the board. If Aaron Donald's sitting there, hey, Chase, we'll use Chase Young from last year.
Right.
Even Chase Young, even though we have those guys like D-Law and Gregory, if there's a Chase Young in this draft, shoot up the board. Go do that. Help this defense. Go ahead there, Spoon.
Yeah. Now, we look at the draft, where a lot of fans get caught up on is the best is looking at position. Who's ranked number 1 through whatever. Go look at the draft board. Look at the draft board. You see Pitts higher than even the quarterbacks coming out.
Right.
Higher than the quarterbacks coming out. If you go to
Zach Wilson,
one of my favorite sites, they got Pitts at number 2 behind Trevor Lawrence. If you go to Draft Tech, look at Pitts. What do you see him at? You see him in number 5.
Right.
So my thing is this: the Cowboys picking number 10. We got to steal in CeeDee Lamb. Why would you want to just settle? Now, BJ, I'm gonna tell you right now in Dallas, BJ. Put it this way: you would think BJ was Blake Jarwin's relative, was screaming off the ass to draft Blake Jarwin. I was at the Giant game when Blake Jarwin went off for 3 touchdowns. that last game of the season, I had to call BJ for the Meadowlands and said, bro, you was right. 100% right. His best game. But unfortunately, the next season, Jason Garrett put in his boy Witten in. Blake Jarman got injured last season. He didn't catch a break.
Right.
But now you got a guy in Pitts who's available. Like Tuck said earlier, we don't know how Blake Jarman was going to respond after an ACL injury. Donson Schultz, he was okay.
Right.
So a lot of us want him out before the start of the season.
Because not to cut you off, but this is what I've been saying. If we want to think about it and be honest about it, Dalton Schultz has proved more the tight end position than Blake Jarwin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: when you get a guy in Pitts, it's not going. Basically, he's going to help out everybody. You know, especially Zeke. No more eight. No more. He's gonna make everybody open. You're gonna have to scheme around this offense. People will get open. Again, look what the Chiefs, look at the Buccaneers.
Right.
Look at them. Too many weapons. Right? No, they there. They are on our schedule.
Right.
They're on our schedule. Nobody's worried about the Chiefs defense. You don't see the Chiefs fans saying, oh, no, sign defense to play. No.
Right.
Keep feeding your home.
Let's help our guy out. Right. Exactly. So how in the hell y'all think we can get him at 10? Well, the case in point is you're looking at 4. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to this entire show, we're looking at 4 to 5 quarterbacks going into the top 10, right? So if there's 5 of those guys, right? So we're picking 10. Okay, well, we're going front of him. And again, it's at the tight end position, historically, right, isn't picked within the top 10. It's a special year, though. It's the COVID draft and everything. Guys have opted out. But you look at Sewell, you look at Jamar Chase, you look at the franchise, the Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith, and you have quarterbacks from those teams that are going beforehand that they want those guys for them because they're comfortable with them. There's not a lot of pit holes. Shout out to my guy, man. I don't want danger. There's not a lot of pit hole. There's not a lot of pit holes for Pitts to make it to 10. Honestly, if they want to go up to 7, if we believe the smoke on the segment earlier about the draft smoke, and Detroit wants to move, then you give up 75 and you go get Pitts. Why not go get the best player outside? I mean, don't take y'all listen to ESPN and all these other people. Don't take our word for it. Right. Go listen to Mache. Right. Go to all these other guys. They have Pitts ranked over quarterbacks even. Right. You know, it is what it is.
Take this off. Yeah. Don't follow. Yeah, don't listen to us. Go listen to what the professionals are saying. They're saying the exact same thing we've been saying since November and January. Like it is what it is. But I don't know why people are fighting it so hard to get this kid. And it's only because of the media train. That is. But think about it. He's more talked about than Trevor Lawrence. That's crazy. You know. So.
You know, I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, again, the Pitts thing, obviously. We started this back on Twitter. For those that follow us on Twitter, your guy Nix underscores in between your underscore guy underscore Nix NIX. My guy was it J? What's that Twitter handle?
JTuck151.
Spoonie, your Twitter handle
at Spoonie881.
Man, we started this little Twitter thing going months ago. We're like, hey, every time we would convert somebody over, we're like, hey, come on in. Refreshments are in the back. We got snacks. We got finger sandwiches. Enjoy. Hey, man, we got some Ciroc over here in the corner. Get you a little shot or whatever. Man, this thing is dried out. And now, since it's dried out, I think this is what's happened, Tuck. Since we don't have the refreshments no more, people are angry at it.
Yeah, we got to get some more treats, man. We got to get some cupcakes, man.
Yeah, we gotta get some more treats because now they're mad at
Friday
us.
Night, Friday night, fam. I'm gonna have my wife bake some cupcakes, man. Get some refreshments, and that's why people complain at me. Like, oh my God, y'all told me it was a party on this piss train, man. Ain't got no water, no drinks, no nothing. You know, like, yeah. So it's all right. Man.
I'm gonna make a souffle.
Right there.
Right. How did we get Dak in the 4th round? The list goes on and on. Like,
look, I'm built for this. Low key, I went through this shit last year.
Right.
Off the in all my little circles, everything. I was like, man, hey, look, man, I want Lamb. People told me I was stupid. I was crazy. We don't need a wide receiver. You're nuts. Right. He's not going to be there. So on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, it is what it is. He might not be there. And look, Pitts might not be there. However, if he's there, that's the pick.
Right.
Period. and he's there. Oh, look at that. And nobody now in Cowboys. Look, here we are, guys. Nobody now in Cowboys Nation is bitching about the damn pick of CeeDee Lamb. Here's what's going to happen. Right. I'll give us our flowers now, guys. They're not going to give it to us. I'll give us our flowers now.
Right.
We'll come back next year about this time, and we have Pitts. Guess what?
Oh man, that's a good pick, man.
Everybody's gonna love it.
We're loaded, man. Did y'all now see what we did to Kansas City in Kansas City? God,
hey, pineapple, we got you, Marv.
Hey, I got you, Marv. Hey.
Listen, I don't know what's wrong. Either Mel Kiper's mousse on his hair or his drafting, because I remember last season he came out and said with the draft grade, CeeDee Lamb. No, they needed pass rushers. Mel. Did you not see that we signed Aldon Smith and we got Randy Gregory back? See, that's the problem. Right. Their draft is basically on value.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Value. My thing is before you give the Cowboys a B, give the team an F for not drafting CeeDee Lamb earlier. We took the best play, the BPA right there at number 17. This is what it is. Now, if Pitts is there at number 10, what are you going to say? Oh, but they got Blake Jarwin. No, go behind it. Is Blake Jarwin healthy enough?
Man.
Come on. It's crazy. And another thing is that we're not ignoring that this team will need defense.
No, we need defense.
There's not a star player on that defense that's going to change it around. Zach Martin was the only exception for us not trying to get Aaron Donald. And we wanted Aaron Donald.
Right.
Zach Martin was the only exception. So my thing is this. If Pitts is there, Surtain is there, and Horn is there, y'all still want Surtain and Horn? You know what? Bet. Let's do that. Let's wait till Pitts go to the Giants or the Eagles. Bust our ass, and we're sitting there like, they dumb.
Oh, no, we just had it. Let's run that. Jonathan Cook says, whoever we get, I'll be okay. I trust in our scouting department. Look, and of course, and you want to do that. Look, we have the hashtag in Willie We Trust. But this year, more than a lot of others, boy, they better get it right defensively. They better, because they have not done a whole lot to help this defense. They better get it right. Mo, with the absolute truth here, CD falling to 17 is way more ridiculous. Pitts falling to 10.
He won't be there. He won't be there. Like we don't have a draft board to have other people.
Well, we got some good ones here. We got some good ones here, guys. I mean, y'all keep coming. We're going to keep riding. Raise your hand if you're a don't take Pitts go defense guy. Would you happily give CeeDee Lamb back for Chason? Yeah, come on, man. Great. Yeah, you already know what it is. No, we got this. Look, we're Horn fans here. Hold on, we're Horn fans here, Eric.
Right.
Horn is the guy. Picking offense is negligent. We have a top-ranked offense already going in. We need defense. Choosing offense would be stupid. Well, you're wrong, because everyone told us, man, we were shit offensively. It was all garbage yards last year. Wait a minute now. We're moving the goalposts, right? Hold on now. We were told all the Dax yards were garbage time. It was garbage time. It was garbage time city last year. But now we have a top-ranked offense. See how so easily it transforms and does something different, Tug?
Right.
I got to ask you guys something about that question. Because if Caleb Farley didn't have any back issues, where's Horn at this? Because they were saying that Caleb Farley will be the best cornerback in this draft.
Yeah.
So that means that Surtain and Horn are benefiting off of Caleb Farley's injuries. My thing is this: when you hear that, why are you still comfortable with that? Over a guy, a player who is either the best player in the draft or a top 5 player. I don't get it.
Because here's the thing. When all that was happening, I said on Twitter, I was like, fine, if I got to take a corner at 10, I'm just going to take J.C. Horn. No, you can't. I mean, you can't pass up on Farley. You can't pass up on Farley or Surtain. But now look, and that's the thing. It's just like, be consistent in your argument and stand on it, man. The Pitts train continues to roll, man. And like, go ahead.
I mean, these comments are flying in. I want us to respond to them. I want Justin Jefferson last draft. I'm a Sooners fan. All right. I mean, cool. I mean, look, I'll take you at your word. Revisionist history is really good. Cowtails will come in. CeeDee Lamb or Winfield? Sure. Right. CeeDee Lamb for Winfield? Sure. That's revisionist history still. And guess what?
Right.
They won a Super Bowl with a lot of guys in the front 7 were good. Our front 7 isn't as good as the Bucs front 7. And be clear, Winfield was hurt and didn't play in a couple of games in the playoffs.
Right.
So, I mean, again, revisionist history to make your point about going forward. This draft is about going forward. You can't look at what's happening behind us right now. You got to look at what's kind of going forward a little bit, right, guys?
Right.
No, and look, and I got Cook. Pitch train. Let's hit it one time. Eric bounced back with look, we're not going to just throw it up there and get you. Because I said top rank doesn't mean we are going to be good. You just made the point for Pitts.
Yeah,
you said top rank doesn't mean we're going to be good. So 100%. Why wouldn't you add a Pitts? You got 9 more picks to go get defense. We took defensive players in the 2nd or 3rd round last year that contributed that we like that want to see this year. Why not get the best guy available? Go ahead.
To answer that, Eric, in 2019, what were we top ranked offensively in? It was yardage. It wasn't scoring.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, if we need to score more points. You guys get mad when Zerline, why are we selling for field goals? We need to go for it. Well, let's fix that where we don't have to be put in that situation, and Kyle Pitts helps that.
Listen, at the end of the day, we're not here saying that we wouldn't accept 13 or Horn at number 10. But if Pitts is there, that's the guy we want. That's the best player available. Now, if Pitts is gone before 10, then we got to move on. Okay, what's the next best player to get to help this team out? Of course, it's going to be either 13. Now, let's just here's one thing. A scenario. If Penei Sewell is there at number 10 and you got Pitts there at number 10, that's a conflict. Why? Because at the end of the day, Sewell's the top guy. We know the issue between the offensive line between Tyron Smith, maybe next season. That's a legitimate conversation. But to come out and say we need defense and you're going off the best corner by rank, no, go by BPA, because even Penei Sewell is ranked higher.
Let me answer that question. And the reason why that I'm not concerned about getting the insurance policy for the offensive line like I would be for tight end, because here's the thing. If like we said, if Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, everyone comes back healthy, Sewell does not play. He doesn't take anyone's job. Right. If we draft Kyle Pitts, he takes Blake Jarwin's job. Easy. And so that's what I'm.
Cowtown, fair enough. I did use that. I'll own it. Look, if we're wrong and we do something different here, we'll own it. I did say that, but Chase on and Lamb, I owned it for sure. But fair enough, I'll own that. Right. But even with that being said, I'll still double down and say Winfield or Lamb. I'm still taking Lamb. So there's that. But you know what, Cowtown,
the best secondary player last year.
Right, but Cowtown, you got me. I did it in live time, and I own it. No problem. Make sure you hit that sub and notification button. Hold on, let J Tuck go. I cut J Tuck off. I will let J Tuck go.
I was saying about the O-line is like what I'm looking for at the 10 is an instant starter. And I feel like if we do take a Sewell, he wouldn't be an instant starter. Because honestly, and I said this on my show the other day, if I'm going to take an offensive tackle, it's going to be Slater because he can instantly come in and play left guard and get Connor Williams the hell up out of here. I'm not really sold at Sewell at playing left guard. And also you can shift Slater around if we need to go to right tackle or kick him around. I'm not sold on Sewell. I think Sewell is the better, just pure left tackle moving forward for the future. Right. But as far as versatility, Slater gives us that option. And he's not going to beat Tyron Smith out of his job where we're moving on from Tyron and Sewell's going to be the left tackle next year. So that's why it's different versus Pitts. We bring in Pitts. He's on the field very first drive and have an impact. So.
All right. And Eric, fair enough. But might just get Eric on. He goes, I didn't like the Lamb pick. I still don't. We didn't need him. Well, actually, we did. We didn't have a slot guy, but fair. Then, and we still don't really. But I understood BPA at that point. Okay, we still don't need him. Okay, fair. All right. At that point, because Lamb fell, our hand was forced. We don't need to do that this year. So you rather draft for need than the best possible talent available.
So who did we need last year, Eric? Let me ask you that. Who was your guy that we needed that we missed out on?
Spoon, go ahead. I know you've been. I know you've been.
Keep it 100.
I just got to find that. Let you everybody. I got to find that clip of NFL Network. NFL Network had a clip where they was doing a mock draft and Kyle Pitts fell to the Cowboys, and you have to see the reaction on their face. That I'm saying, like, damn, how can they understand, but some of us don't? They looked at you know what? Imagine Pitts in that offense.
It's scary.
Oh my God, it hurts me that. Wow, a lot of us cannot see that. Meaning, there's no defensive play that doesn't make a difference at all.
Right.
Now, another thing.
It's damn near unfair.
Why are we talking about a safety over CeeDee Lamb? Now, all the safeties got drafted in the second round.
Right.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. So basically, you wanted to trade out the 17th pick. Now, mind you, we took Diggs in the second round. Am I correct?
Yep.
Diggs had a great year. You can't take everybody. Diggs had a great year as far as cornerback. Why are we still hopping on that? Now, if Winfield Jr. went number 18 or 19, there's an argument. He went in the second round.
Right.
So now here's another thing. Why? So you're telling me? I guarantee you, on draft night, CeeDee Lamb is there. We take Winfield with that number 17 pick. We are cussing up a storm. Oh, he's a second round guy. Why did we do that? X, Y, and Z. Now, I do agree. I forgot my man's name. I do agree. If we didn't take CeeDee Lamb, I wanted Jefferson too. I did want Jefferson too, and we was happy that the Eagles didn't take him. They took Riga. But end of the day, you gotta come on. Let's just be honest.
Hold on. And we got a question. He goes, no, why can't y'all see he's the best player in the draft behind Trevor and won't make it to 10? Because everybody's going to take quarterbacks. One, two, the teams that have quarterbacks, they have their wide receivers there. Right. Look, and he might not make it there.
Right.
We don't disagree. Look, we've never came out here and said Pitts is going to be there at 10 and drafting.
Right. He might not.
That's not what we're saying. But the idea that he's not going to be there is foolish. That's all we're saying.
And I have a question for the chat. How tall is Antoine Winfield Jr.?
5'9", 5'10".
Oh, yeah.
5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We know how we do that here in Dallas. I mean, even though I'm a Washington, I want Darius Washington, but
right. Too short. Sante Samuel. Oh, no. We're the Dallas Mavericks. We need 6'2".
Listen, y'all. We're not here basically saying our opinion's better than yours. All we're trying to clarify is the reason why we want Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts should be taken before we pick. But if magically he's there, you got to take him.
Right. That's all we're saying.
There's cornerbacks in the second round that you can get. Remember, the Roe-V was picked number 17. Tre'Davious White was picked number 27. Tre'Davious White actually right now is the second best cornerback in the NFL, in my opinion, behind Ramsey. Ramsey is generational. Now, that's an argument we could argue, and I accept it, about between him and Zeke. That's a great argument. We all argue about that. Look, Buck is a Florida State guy. We know Mendoza's Washington is a Florida State guy. They can tell you how pissed they was. They wanted Ramsey.
It was so clear. Ramsey. So clear. It was so clear. You talking about the draft? I walked out. I walked out in Chicago.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Hey, look, man. We're loving the chat. Hey, look, man, we are loving the chat right now, man. Y'all bringing the fire. Man, we appreciate that, man. Man, go ahead, hit the fire emojis up in the chat for us right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pay some bills. We got shoot those questions, man. We'll keep rocking with y'all. Real quick, if you're on Facebook, man, hit up the Star Game Podcast, YouTube. That's it, Star Game Podcast. Hit that sub, hit the notification bell. Man, if you're currently on YouTube and you haven't hit the like button, sub, and bell, man, do that as well. Get the likes, get the shares, man. We'll keep rocking with y'all. Your_guy_Knicks is my Twitter, man. Come follow me. Keeping them fire emojis going. Tuck, go ahead and pay them bills for the CFO game.
Yeah, man. On Twitter, at JTuck151. And then Cowboys fans only YouTube channel. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm giving a giveaway. So definitely check out that last video just dropped. I need 15 of y'all. So we got more than 15 of y'all. Go to the channel, subscribe. Go there. We're trying to make a push for 1,000 for draft day, man. So
look, out of 60, exactly. Out of 65 of y'all, 15 of y'all shoot over there the Cowboys fans only.
Hold on,
and hit it. I tell you what. If we hit 1,000 for you tonight, I'm going to give away a $50 gift certificate to the Cowboys Pro Shop. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'll match it. I'll match it.
Also, Star Game's also doing NFL draft contest for $100.
Hit him, Tuck. Hit him, Spoon.
You must subscribe to either to CFO and Star Game Podcast. Now, here's the deal, y'all. It's very simple. You have to say who is the player in the first round that Dallas Cowboys going to draft. The next two picks, regardless what round this is, you got to pick the position. That is it. You get whoever gets it right, $100 in your pocket. That will be announced on draft night. If you think the fire is on tonight, wait till draft night. Hey.
And as you go, subscribe to CFO. Come right back in here and comment. You subscribe to CFO. Cowboys fans only. and we're gonna give away some money tonight. Man, the fire is all the way through this thing, man. Let me jump out here. Man, the prophet in the building with the fire. Let me give these shout outs. We're gonna get these questions, man. Wesley Brown in the building, man, with the fire. Eric, hey man, we appreciate the pushback, man. Good content, man. Professor O, man. Sometimes you might late night creep me and Professor O on here, dropping some jewels, man. My guy, Professor O, will be locked in. My guy, Joshua Parker, as always, man. Love you, big bro. Big boss man in the building, rocking that 88 Lamb. Fourth down Cowboys is in the building as well with the fire. Mendoza, the mod extraordinaire for the Stargate group on Facebook, is in the building. Get them likes up. Mo is always, Mo's down to win everything, but y'all better hurry.
Yeah. Mo out there foaming, man.
Joseph in the building, Sandberg in this thing, getting it in. Mark Hanser, Big Fatty, Rush Turner. Rush Turner on Easter. Man, look, I saw some pictures. Boy, that boy did some stuff with some rib, man. Hey, that boy did some good. Hey, look, and Mr. Mark Anthony, we actually got to convert to the pitch train. It took us a long time.
Let's do this though. Can we right now commit to a Stargate tailgate next year, man?
Let's do it.
Stargate tailgate next year in Dallas. Stargate
details. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, we got one already we got one in the building. Stuart Rogers, subscribe to CFO. We got one already. As soon as you subscribe, drop it. We're going to give away that money. Cowboys fan talk only. You know what, Cowboys fan talk? Hey man, go in your inbox. That link I sent you, man. Come on in here. We're gonna rock for a little while, man. I told you we're gonna be a little long tonight.
Let's go. It's hot right now.
Y'all got me riled up, man. Got me riled up.
Come on, more to subscribe. We got two in the building. Man, we are going to get. We ain't leaving. We ain't going nowhere until we get in touch with one day. We ain't leaving. That's what we're doing, right? We're Wall Street right now, man. My guy Wesley Brown. Hey, is that look low key though, bitch? Y'all subbing over there, bitch. Y'all sub here too.
Yeah, so Stargate too, man.
Sub here too. Yeah, come on through. Hold on, man. Hey, let me know, Mr. Rome, if that works for you or not. There it is, man. No one back in the building. Man, Professor gets here about 1,000 subs tonight. You a Super Bowl ticket. Yeah, I will buy you one in 2099. Yeah. I got you. Oh well, no, we'll get you to 1,000 before 6 hours. Calm down. Romy Rome in the building. Shane, what's going on, Shane? With the what's up, Rome? I'm driving right now. Tragic. All right, man. We'll talk to you.
Not tonight. What's
Wednesday? I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mo's on it.
We already probably been there as well.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
But with that being said, man, let's get back subs up. We're these bills, if you will. But let's get back to it, man. Shoot us those questions, man. The Pitts thing. Look. Shout out to my guy Eric. My guy Eric just said, I'm not anti-Pitts because I agree he's pretty good, but we don't need him. Jarwin is fine, but we can't say Jarwin's fine. He hasn't done much yet.
Did Eric comment who he wanted? Did he comment who was this guy?
See, he can really do yet, and we already extended him. The moves we make lately make no sense, which is fair on that front too. I think he was a cornerback guy. For sure. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a cornerback guy. Boom.
I can see that argument. Like I said, based on where the Cowboys currently put us, that a lot of people are thinking we have to go cornerback at 10. Now, here's my rebuttal to that. And I said this on Twitter. I feel like when it comes to this draft, Chase and Pitts are the only two players that pretty much, obviously the only two players for me personally. Right. I feel like I can't really get this in the later round, right? I feel like I can get you a cornerback of Patrick Surtain or Jason Horn's caliber in the second round, right? I feel like I can get you a left tackle of Sewell's caliber or Slater's caliber, almost in the later rounds, right? I feel like Pitts and Chase are the only two guys where I say, you know what, I can't get this elsewhere, and so that's where I stand on it. So,
as Matt Owen just said, so 2020 career for Jarwin. And Eric, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, Eric, that whenever Witten retired, Blake Jarwin couldn't beat out Jeff Swam.
Right.
Let's keep it a buck here. It's not just one season where he got hurt. It's just in general, the entirety that he's been here, it just hasn't happened, unfortunately. And that's just kind of what it boils down to. And of course, do we not think? Look, let me ask you this, Eric: Does Pitts walk in here and be the starter day one? Yes. If Jeff Swan was the number one guy, does Pitts start? Yes. And Jarwin couldn't beat out. Jarwin wasn't a rookie during the Swam era. He wasn't a rookie, and he couldn't beat out Swam. So yeah, man.
And allow Jason Witten to come back out the booth and get his job back.
And stand back from him.
Right.
It's tragic.
The Dallas Cowboys talked to about 4 to 5 corners already. So Chain was today. They already talked to Horn about
we did. I was gonna say we signed Sprinkles to tight end. I guess we can't take Pitts now.
Sprinkles.
They talked to my guy from Kentucky, right? They talked to Greg Newsome,
right?
Elijah Molden,
right?
So that's
and Molden will be there day 2.
Exactly. And my thing is this: like I said, if you look around the league, besides Jalen Ramsey, who again we know it was that guy, right? The top cornerbacks were not taking the top 10. And look at the corners who taking in front of them. There's a guy named Conley out there, right? He was drafted 2019, right, in the top 10. He's on the streets right now. Conley. Yeah. So we drafted Claiborne, we drafted Kenneth Newman, right? We've done this before. So what I'm saying to you is this: don't look at who's the ranked top corner. Look at the BPA best players all over the board. Then you simmer down. Now it's not about drafting for holes; it's about also upgrading as well. Pitts ain't right now, right above these guys. He's ranked above quarterbacks. So when you add that into the offense we got Dak, Zeke, Mari Cooper, Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson. I mean, my God. And again, look at the schedule that's about to come out next week.
What schedule comes out next week?
By next week.
All time.
So my thing is this: Buccaneers and the Chiefs is on that schedule. We got the pass number.
Well, let's get it. I'll tell you what, I'm seeing it in here. Let's get to it. You know what? Let's get to it. Look, we're taking Pitts off the board, right? We talked Pitts for a while. Right. It is what it is. He can't make it. Look, they've told us he can't make it to us.
He went to the Panthers. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, Panthers. Right. Yeah, he went somewhere. You know what? He's whatever. I mean, Ron Hawkins said say the same thing about wide receivers, but boy, you saw Lamb go ham. I mean, some guys are just different, Ryan. We got to understand that. They also say left tackles take time to get up to speed or whatever. So, I mean, we can use that argument and move those goalposts for anybody. But you know what? We're done with the Pitts.
Right. He's gone. He's a Panther now.
He's a Panther. He's a Lion. He's a Dolphin.
Right.
He's a Falcon.
Right.
Whatever. It's fine. Hey, look, we have talked that to death. So for the people that are here in the back, and they want defense, guys. They want defense. That's what they want. Right? Hey, look, we don't take defense at 10.
Right.
If they don't take defense at 10, we're done.
Right. So where we currently stand, defense.
Let's get to it. Now, obviously, a shutdown corner. I'm going to pivot that because a shutdown corner, no matter which one you like, shouldn't make it to 10 because they're a shutdown corner, right?
Look, there's no way. There's no way.
Right. Because I mean, Okudah went last year. When did Okudah go? 4?
He ran number 7. No,
7. Okay,
7.
top. Right. Yeah. I mean, when did Ramsey go? What round? What number was Ramsey? 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. 5. Right. So I mean, lockdown corners don't make it to 10.
Right.
I mean, Pitts making it to 10 is much more reasonable than one of these cornerbacks getting there.
Oh,
but hey,
in a passing league,
yeah. But let's
no way.
We got 5 quarterbacks going, Parsons, Pitts, a couple of wide receivers. Here we are. We have our pick, guys. We get Surtain Jr. the second or Horn. Cowboys fan talk. I almost
on the road, bro.
I almost blocked you, Rome, for that one. On this show, we don't talk about DNs at 10. You almost got blocked. Shout out to my guy Rome. But with that being said, okay, Spoony, I'm gonna start with you.
All right.
Cowboys Nation, y'all chime in as well. Defense.
So who you got Surtain, Horn on the board?
Got Surtain and Horn on the board. You You want to throw Parsons on there too? You want to make it a three-way?
Make it three-way.
You want to make it a menage? You want to make it a menage?
Parsons there too. Adam, man.
Right. We'll get Cowboys options. You know, everybody likes a menage. I mean, come on, Parsons. Bam. There we go. All right, bam. All right, guys. No defensive guys with the top 9. None of them. None of them went top 9. Here we go. What you want?
I'm gonna take Horn.
You're going Horn. Okay. And J Tuck, who are you going?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going Horn. Because we spoke about, the guy who went 5th in 2016 in Jalen Ramsey. I feel like what Cowboys fans and what the attraction is for me personally and for a lot of people is he gives us something we haven't had before in Dallas, which is a dog's. Like, I even said it today because every time PFF posts something about corners, he tweets about it and is like, "Oh, okay, that's what we're doing," or he has something to say. Okay, where's Molden? So he is aware. He's going to be that guy. And I know a lot of people, been wanting Richard Sherman in house for veteran leadership. Well, Richard Sherman came out and said, J.C. Horn, I think he's going to be one of the best corners. You saw PFF race him as one of the best press corners. So I feel like he brings a dynamic of something in the secondary, which we currently don't have in Dallas. It's no slight to Surtain, but I feel like if we get J.C. Horn, he is coming in to be the guy. He's not coming in to be Trayvon Diggs' little brother, a little protege, or anything like that. He's coming to be the guy, and he's going to give us a different type of atmosphere, a different type of attitude in the secondary. So J.C. Horn is my guy, man. That's what I'm going with. And I'm completely out on Parsons. I would toss Parsons in the same thing that Rome mentioned. I'm just out on Parsons, man.
Yeah, I mean, Parsons for me, I'm good. I'm just if it wasn't for the baggage, we could have a conversation.
Right.
So I'll be the guy. Hold on for a second. Let me get ready. Let me get ready. I'm looking at the comments. I'm hearing what y'all saying. Let me go ahead and get ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Surtain all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Period. That's who I'm taking. I think he fits the scheme better. I think he doesn't have to worry about traveling because we're not going to make guys travel. I think football IQ wise, this whole here's what you need to understand. Hold on for a second. Let me walk it back for a second. We need a dog. Okay. I mean, we had a coach that was a dog on the sideline screaming, yelling, and whatever. It didn't do shit. Stop.
It's much better than what we want currently.
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. You can't say currently. There was
last year.
Yeah, can't say currently. Okay. On the same token, I like guys that are smart. I like guys, I like guys. I like guys that have football IQ. And when you turn on the all 22 tape, you watch the 22 tape, man, Surtain's film watching and on-field communication is leaps and bounds better than Horn. It just is. The one thing that I think about Horn, he's very look. I don't want to harp on the grabby stuff too much, but whenever you're grabby outside of 5 yards as a cornerback, I've played this game, I've coached this game, I've played multiple positions. You're on the cusp, and in your head, you're panicking, thinking you're getting beat. That's great in college because you're an athlete. In the NFL, you're just going to get beat. It's just what it is. Now Patrick Surtain has issues. He's a feeler, and this is why I like him in this system. If he gets his hands, he feels where you're going, and you're not getting away from him. Now, if he doesn't get his hands on you, it's a problem. So there are issues that are happening with him as well. I'm not saying that they're both clean-cut guys that, hey, and look, no matter what you take in this draft, there's going to be things they have to work on. And look, I'm not going to crop and take Horn. Let me be clear. I mean, it's 1A, 1B. It's not like a 1 or a 2. It's not like a 1 or a 2. That's not what I'm saying. I like Horn. I like a lot of things about Horn. I think he's to a certain extent, he's Cortland Finnegan. Just a pest. He's just underneath you. He makes you feel uncomfortable some.
Right.
And I do like that aspect about him. And Tuck, I will buy a little bit of well, he's not going to come in. He knows Diggs, and you're going to use it as the, hey, we played together or whatnot. However, isn't communication kind of key when you get to the secondary? Don't you think their communication should be A1? How many times look, not just last year now, Tuck, the last 3 years, you had guys in the secondary doing this shit. That shouldn't be an issue here with Diggs and Surtain. I hear people say, well, that's just not going to be a good look for them in the NFL. I'm like, well, damn it, it worked pretty good in Alabama. I don't know how you're going to tell me that's not going to work really good in the NFL.
But what does that have to do with them playing together at Alabama as far as communication? Because communication with Horn will probably be with the safeties versus with the other corner on the outside.
Fair. Okay. Oh, well, but I've watched. Here's the thing. During the tape, if somebody wants to see me to tape where Horn is communicating to another corner or safety or linebacker, send it to me. I couldn't find it.
Okay.
I've seen plenty of tape of Surtain communicating to a corner or Surtain to a corner, a safety, pointing, getting people in the direction and where they need to go and be in the right places. And I think that matters on the next level because your athletic ability only takes you so far. Once you get to the next level, everybody knows it's here in between the ears more so than this athletic ability.
Now,
I like both, but at 10, I'm taking Surtain.
Now, here's how my mind works at 4 a.m. in the gym, and I said this on Twitter. You want to sell me on Surtain? Go get me a veteran corner, draft Surtain, and we Byron Jones' ass to free safety.
So wait. So you think, and I agree, but I've seen him do that, but in the same side, I've seen that as well, Matt Owen. So you think he's more Mika Fitzpatrick than a corner outside?
Yeah, because I mean, if you go back and watch, and also his interviews, he was brought in under Nick Saban to be the single high safety, and he just rotated down eventually to corner. So he does have some safety in him, and as you mentioned, he's very cerebral. I really don't trust KZ for the most part. So if you were to go get a Casey Hayward, draft a Patrick Surtain, and then let him kind of be, in the bridge gap as free safety, that kind of kills two birds with one stone. So that's how you can sell me on being Patrick Surtain. But if not, just pure corner, I'm taking Horn.
And look, and Richard, and here's the problem. And the thing that we talk about Pitts. Well, I take Surtain at 10 last year. Diggs was rated higher and fell to us the second round. The draft last year was in a much deeper standpoint. Do y'all think Surtain or Horn will be talked about at number 10 in last year's draft? Of course not. But here we are. Go ahead, Spoon.
No, I was going to say a lot of scouts see Surtain as a safety. It's like what Tuck was saying. He's a big boy, 6'2", about 220 pounds. He's a big boy. And again, listen, if he could play, if the Cowboys were to come out and say we're going to draft Surtain and move and put him on safety, I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at it at all. End of the day, you put the guy with the best player. And listen, BJ, you make great points about being smart. Nick Saban guys, you are right. They are well prepared for the NFL. You don't get wrong either with Horn or Surtain.
Right.
You don't get wrong at all. You're getting a good player.
You get wrong with that third option.
That secondary with Diggs. That's definitely a great thing. Now that only if the Pitt situation is out. That is it. So, again, none of us are saying we don't want Surtain or Horn. It's just not over Pitts. But if it's one of those two guys, it's great argument. It's great arguments about who fits better. They both good players for this secondary. We are in a great situation at number 10.
Okay, then I'll pivot. I'll pivot a smidge here. Okay, so I don't care who you take it in. The problem is you still got to have look. If you get Hornets in, you still need a veteran cornerback.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So I guess we're going to go back and circle back. We talked about last show, previous show, in the DMs, and now, man, safety that the boy KZ, right?
Right.
What that look like? What that contract look like?
1 year deal.
Yeah.
$5 million.
900, 930,000 guaranteed, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, Surtain and Wilson. I mean, would you say now? Let's pivot. Let's safety and Horns are back.
Wait, I didn't get the question again.
I get the question. You're projecting Surtain to be your starting free safety, or you're projecting J.C. Horn to be your outside cornerback.
Ooh.
Who's your pick at 10 then?
Can I go first?
Spoon. Yeah.
I'm getting Surtain.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm getting Surtain. Listen, I'm getting Surtain.
But see, let me pause. This is what you guys get when you tune into the Star Game podcast, because these ideas flow that a lot of people are thinking about, and that's how I convinced myself, because Easter weekend I was kind of no man's land. I was like, how can I convince myself on Surtain? So I watched some more film. I dove in and I said, like the little GIF guy on Twitter, like, oh, that's it. We move his ass to free safety, and then we bring in a veteran corner, and then we're good. And so, he started at corner at Bama, but he came in with the idea that he was going to be safe.
And you have to remember that, and of course, this came as a 5-star recruit as wide receiver. I mean, due to his brother.
Yeah.
Richard, we beat this to the ground. Brother, I know you've been a long-time watcher. You have to rewind back. We did about an hour of this Pitts thing. Pitts is or should be out of our conversation. We told you exactly why he shouldn't be. You have to rewind and come back, Richard. Appreciate you, brother, always for tuning in, man.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, so all of a sudden, I can talk y'all in.
That's how you pour some seasoning, some little lemon pepper.
He's no longer unseasoned chicken.
Yeah,
he's no longer unseasoned chicken.
We just seasoned Surtain up a little bit, man. And I think that way you convince me, like, because you have a guy that can come up free safety, play corner.
Yeah, comment section real quick now. If we say Surtain's going to be your free safety here and Horn's going to be a cornerback, who are you taking now? Let's see what the comment section has to have. But either way, I'm taking Surtain. I mean, he's going to be your tight end killer, right? We're looking at the size. We're doing different things. But I mean, neither here nor there. We all agree with Horn, with Parsons being out here. Let me ask y'all this, and I've watched the Horn tape. And a lot of people want to just bring up the Auburn where he got his 2 interceptions or whatever happened. Let's take that tape up out of there and look at the rest of the tape, right? I mean, Horn, pressy, grabby. Y'all like the attitude. Here's what I keep hearing about Horn, and I want to get y'all's idea on this. Right. And this isn't just for this prospect, just in general. For me, the idea of ceiling, I think is basically if you like a guy or not. Like the idea that Patrick Surtain, he's hit his ceiling, he's not going to get any better. Like, do we not really think these guys, when they get to the NFL, are not going to get any better? Like, oh, they have a higher ceiling than somebody else, or things of that ilk. Does that move y'all in your looking when you're looking at a prospect? Like, does that change what you look at and how you do? What do you think about the whole? Well, he has a higher ceiling take for people to look at tape. How does that factor into whenever y'all look at tape? What do y'all think about the higher ceiling aspect that we kind of throw on players sometimes, Tuck?
Yeah, I think that's why Horn has kind of drawn, since people kind of got their eyes on him, is that because he gives us the possibility as an investment to be Jalen Ramsey-esque, because all the things that, because like I said, me and Mendoza, we're both Florida State fans. The same things that I'm hearing people say about Horn was the same thing that I was hearing people say in 2016 about Jalen Ramsey. Like, he's very grabby, he's handsy, he gets beat, these different type of things. He's too aggressive, and sometimes it's kind of the same thing applies. So I feel like what the vision is for Horn is that you get the possibility for the higher ceiling, but I'll also say this with Horn, you get the opportunity for a possible bigger floor as well, because he could be, a bust. We could be sitting back on Sunday saying, damn, another, pass interference. What are you thinking? So I think his range is a lot more volatile than Surtain. But
Mo, I like mellow yellow though. Mo, I like mellow yellow a lot. I like mellow yellow.
Most throwing them good ones today.
Yeah, I mean, Spoon. When it comes to the ceiling take or whatever, the higher ceiling. What do you think?
Let me finish with this. When I think of Surtain, I think more Byron Jones is. Like, I think he's kind of very Byron Jones to me versus the possibility of getting Ramsey. Yes, so I'll say that.
But yeah. Basically, I think Surtain is the most NFL ready. He's most NFL ready. He's the safest pick. I would say the safest pick. Can he get better than what he is? Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's NFL ready right now, and we don't know will he be better than what he is. As far as Horn, he gives you that attitude that we definitely need. Listen. We know his father, Joe Horn. Joe Horn was that mouth on the field. The Saints came to play. I can see John Horn being that guy in that defense to really get these guys going. And when you say the highest ceiling, it's like, damn, you're good right now. How much better can you bet? And again, just like Chuck said, he has that Jalen Ramsey in him where he's not afraid to get in your face and challenge a guy. And when I believe it was all three of us, we was conversating about it, and we saw the interview with with J.C. Horn, and I love the fact how he was naming team. He pays attention to what's going on around the league. He basically came out and when they asked him about every NFL team, he mentioned the Cardinals, he mentioned the Cowboys, he mentioned all the wide receivers in the NFL that he played against and how much. So he really pays attention. That tells me that on game day, he does what Ramsey does. Ramsey is the type of guy that will go be on the interview and challenges the wide receivers. He might play. What I'm saying is that he reminds me of Ramsey.
You're good. I'm saying my next question. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Unmute myself. He's a dog. Oh, he's a dog. This guy's a dog. What does that mean to y'all when you say a guy's a dog?
It means
it's I think a lot of people use it and throw it out there. I don't think they understand it. I'd like the clarity for what y'all mean as it pertains to a dog.
I mean, just take the word dog out and just say fearless. That's what I would do. Remove the dog and just say fearless for people to kind of understand it. I feel like J.C. Horn is fearless. I feel like if we do come out and we get that schedule next week and Kansas City's the first up, I feel like J.C. Horn's going to be like, it is what it is. If I got to match up with Tyreek Hill, I'm ready to go toe to toe. It's just like, you see it with fighters, like it's just a relentlessness that he shows throughout the game. And that's what I was saying back when watching him travel. It was like, all right, this is your best receiver. I'm on him. Let's go. And I just think that's going to be a lightning rod, like Spoon just said, to spark through our defense because our defense is so flat. And you think about what the Jacksonville Jaguars went through for the brief time they had Jalen Ramsey and Bowie. That mentality, when people sit back and they saw Jalen Ramsey over there crying and people on Twitter make jokes, he was pissed off saying, I'm tired of effing losing. And eventually that kind of seen through the whole team in that locker room, and they got to an AFC championship game. So I feel like that's what the Dallas Cowboys need, man. It's a new identity. It's a new electricity out there, man. So.
And that's why I brought it up. My guy White, he's in my earpiece apparently. We need another synonym or definition. Like the dog thing, I don't think relates. Like for us to play the game, we kind of understand it. But I think overall, when we talk to fans and different things, we need to have a different
passion.
Passion. But you got passion. Passion, right?
Passion.
A different attitude or whatever. Right. But dog means what to you, Spoon?
For me, Des Bryant, K. Norton Jr., Charles Haley, Darren Woodson, guys who would go into your face and challenge you to get better. There's no accountability on this defense. That's the problem. Listen, I like Byron Jones, but he wasn't a guy that would challenge nobody in that secondary. He was a nice, quiet guy. He was the RKG, Garrett Wright kind of guy, and we got to get away from that. If we're beginning at Dan Quinn, look what Dan Quinn had in Seattle. He great Harrison. He had dogs. He had passion. He had guys who challenged each other. They took it seriously every game, every snap. They challenge each other. That's what we need in Dallas. Horn has that attitude that does that, and you can see in his interview. Now, when you look at Surtain, people say Byron Jones, he's quiet. Listen, and guess what? He's a smart play. Darrell Reed was a smart guy, and he was one of the better corners in the NFL. You can't go either wrong with one or any of them, but I just think for this team right now, listen, if Surtain's drafted, all right, we got our cornerback. Let's go for it. But if we get Horn, I'm a little bit more excited because, Horn, listen, this is his second year. Horn, he's gonna challenge these guys along with Kazi and Neal coming in here. We need that attitude adjustment.
Right.
It's too much like flat, like Tuck said, flat soda. It's like
because think about it, because Spoon did it perfect. Our guy and why we're so tied to him, Des Bryant. And we go back to that all or nothing clip when it was after practice. Jordan Lewis was chirping. Des said, "Let's go." They lined up, and that sends a spark. It creates an attitude throughout practice, throughout the locker room. It's a mentality. Because you think about it, the Cowboys from a defensive standpoint, who is that guy? Who was that Des Bryant face on defensively?
Them hot boys. Them hot boys.
Marcus Lawrence is quiet. Jalen Smith about to lose his damn job at once. Like we don't have that. We don't have that guy that can say, "F these guys, let's go." Like let's, like it's just good guys.
May I answer your comment real quick, Tuck? It's the same thing. Michael Irvin a long time ago. Irvin said when it was only rookies to allow to come to camp, he would come in there and bother them, right? Des Bryant took the same approach. Des Bryant came into the locker room, told Tito, told Xavier, number 25, and told Jordan Lewis, "I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna burn you." Mind you, veterans was not allowed to be in that locker room, but he came in there and challenged every one of them. That's what we need. Horn would. You don't think that Horn would beat up Amari Cooper's face? And make the secondary is the wide receivers?
Push CeeDee Lamb, everything.
You know what I think? You know what I think that takes? And here's the problem with the culture of Cowboyization. It requires competition.
Right.
That's what it requires. Yeah, if you want to iron sharpens iron, right? And you go back to, and I saw somebody talk about the Hard Knocks, right? You saw J. Lou chirping right back, and Dez was talking that shit, and J. Lou was chirping right back at him and whatnot. And the problem is we don't create enough competition. As we were talking about KJ Rodnick getting here on yesterday's show, there was a lot of people in the comment section saying, "Well, where would he play? I mean, look who we got." And it's like, no, that's the problem. We're not creating competition. Like, okay, who is Neil going to take? Who's Neil going to take place of? Right? We need guys to come in here. So I'm like, if you got Neil here, and you're not going to sign KJ Wright, why draft the linebacker? Because you're banking on Dan Quinn making LVE and Jalen back to 2018, right? So what's the point here? I think the way to create dogs is to create competition at these levels to push people.
Right, because think about it. Go back, you mentioned the Hot Boys, right? 2018, one of my favorite games. I just posted that Saints game. What happened before that game? DeMarcus Lawrence came out with that, everyone hit him up in the mouth and all that stuff, and it set the tone for that game in the locker room. Like, you need that. Like, playing the football, you go to the dog days of practice, man, you get exhausted, you get flat, but sometimes you need something that's just going to spark you and push you to that next level. And that's what DeMarcus Lawrence did in 2018. And then he said his mother got on to him, so he started, shutting his mouth a little bit. But you need that sometimes, man. You need someone to pop. Jalen Ramsey, this quarterback is trash. This quarterback is trash. Then you have to go out there and back up what you said, and it pushes you to another level, man. So,
yeah. I mean, it's what it is, man. Shouts to God, Brandon, best Cowboys bloggers out. Finally heard y'all live, man. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure you hit them subs all the way around the board, and make sure you get that content where we drop it. We'll get out of here on this. I'll tell you what. 10:20. Y'all got 11 minutes. You got 11 minutes, guys.
Yeah, 11 minutes.
All right, we got 11 minutes left. All right, so we're gonna throw. We did this for 10. Horn, Parsons. Nobody's on that Parsons train. Yeah, maybe one. I don't know, but whatever. But I'll tell you what, we're going to shoot questions out here, man, for the next 11 minutes. Any questions y'all have, we're going to get them out here, and then we're going to get up out of here tonight off the Cowboys Report every Wednesday night with me, Spoonie. Typically, Mary, she had a late call at work. I mean, she's calling Japan. Konnichiwa, if you will. And, of course, I got Jay Tuck in this build. Man, we're still trying to get to 1K.
Where we at? Where
are we at? We got 1K. We had some people earlier jumping in there. We were right there, man. We're 45 in the building. How many more do we need to get CFO to 1K tonight?
12 more.
12 more. 42 of y'all. Cowboys fans only on YouTube. Man, hit that sub. Hit that sub.
Hit that sub, man. And to answer Eric, I was gonna say, answer Eric's question. You're never gonna get Xavier Woods type comment out of JC Horn. You're not gonna get a If the owner ain't tripping, I ain't tripping out of J.C. Horn. You know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see his, because like I said, as I follow him closely. Like, I don't see it in him makeup. Now he might be the one that kind of pops out about the organization, and he's going to be kind of dense with his tweets and everything, so he has to be careful of that. But I just don't see him being lackadaisical, getting half-ass effort out there. So.
Professor O here in the crunch time, 10 minutes to go, 10-minute warning. Make sure you hit them subs, hit them likes, hit them shares, hit them notification bells. So you buying the talk that Lewis will move to free safety? I'm not, because Reggie Robinson has been told he's playing free safety. So if we sign KZ, Robinson, and Quinn is going back to free safety, I think so. I mean, maybe in certain packages, but I don't think overall, I don't think that's going to be the big move. Again, I still look at contract. I look at the fact that they signed him and Brown can literally let go and save $4 million. I think that we're looking at Jay Lou being our slot corner next year. That's kind of how I feel. But, I mean, time will tell. Guys, are you buying Lewis? I mean, did it a little late last year. Had some good times at free safety. Are y'all buying more Lewis at free safety? Do you think he'll make the move to free safety?
No, I feel like he's going to be either a slot corner or, Lord forbid, outside corner at this point. But I don't think he's going to move to free safety, especially them bringing in KZ. Now, if KZ pulls a ha-ha Clinton Dix, they might have to break the glass in case of an emergency. But I think as of right now, the intent is that he's coming in to be either a slot or an outside guy.
Yeah,
Spoony?
Same with success. Exactly the same. Just maybe special packages or emergency things, but nothing 100%.
Word. I mean, it's again, I think packages you might see it, depending. But yeah, overall, no. I mean, if they don't cut Brown, let me backdoor. If they don't cut Brown might be your currently outside guy on the other side of Diggs, and Jay Lou's your slot going into next year, depending on what they draft and what they do. That's definitely.
Brown started 18, right? That was 18.
Yeah. Brown has started outside before.
Same scheme, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
So let me ask you guys this: with that, do you think if everything stays as is, that we are going to run a second-year guy in Diggs and a rookie out there at corner, or will it be more of a veteran to bridge until we get to that rookie corner? I don't see them tossing Surtain to the fire or Horn to the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. I mean, I look, and I got the bit with my guy SoFlo that they're going to sign a veteran guy before
the ticket.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. I think they're going to sign a veteran guy. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they do. I mean, there were whispers last year that they kind of wanted, which is crazy to think, they kind of want to start Diggs and Robinson at corner. But they got a little nervous and said no. And then we got into the wash of Robinson. Is he a safety? Is he a corner? Is he this? Is he that?
Right.
And we're still going through that now. I think yes. I'll tell you what. I'm going to say yes. I think if they draft a corner at 10, he's going to start outside because they have a veteran guy in the slot. And they're going to, quote unquote, call Diggs a veteran guy on the other side. So, yes, I'm going to go with they'll start the rookie.
You know what's funny about this?
Scary.
It's funny, DJ.
If we get that Giants open, we get that Giants opener.
If they pick a guy at 10, if they don't take a cornerback at 10, there's no way in hell he starts week 1.
Okay.
But you know what's funny, BJ, with this conversation we're having? It brings me back to the last show we was all talking about. Corner are pretty. They pretty much the depth is solid at corner.
Right.
Not saying that the right guys are there, but the depth is more secure. But it's not a linebacker.
Right.
You brought that up on the last show, saying that the linebacker is only really 1-year deals. You got to pick up. You got to pick up LVE's his
fifth-year option,
which is in May.
Looks like they don't want to do it. Right.
Right. You got Keanu O'Neal here for 1 more year. Sean Lee, to see what happens with that going forward. Right. The issues with Jalen Smith being on the field too long, he can't cover. He's just good for rushing the passer. So here's the thing. How do y'all feel if the Cowboys at 10 drafted a linebacker move back for a linebacker because it's this conversation here. We're talking about corners now. You said Reggie Robinson, right? We got.
I'm with you. No, I hear you, Spoon. No, I hear you. Well,
I'm not saying
Parsons.
I'm not saying Parsons now. I'm not saying Parsons.
I mean, okay, so
Your
you're not taking Xavier Collins. You're not taking Joe. Look, I love Jeremiah. I love Jeremiah. I love Jeremiah. Right. I think he's the future of what linebackers are going to be in this league. We're seeing it with Neil here now. Right. I've preached this for a couple of years. I don't think there's any way, shape, or form to take Jeremiah at 10.
No, I just don't see it. Back. I'm saying. Let's just say if Pitcher's not there. Okay, at number 10, they decided to drop back for a linebacker because again, linebacker is more.
I'm fully on trading back behind Philly and the Giants and Washington.
Right. Yeah. I just don't. I don't think I think the Cowboys are going to look. If anything, the Cowboys will go to 7. If not, they're sticking and picking. I don't think they're going to trade. Unless my one caveat. Unless there's a quarterback at 10, and they just get a fucking bevy of picks, then sure. Outside of that, but there has to be a quarterback at 10. And I've said that from the very beginning. I'll double down on it now. If there's a quarterback at 10, all bets are off with the Cowboys trading back. Okay. If there's not a quarterback at 10, they're sticking and picking. Period. Right. I think there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I could imagine what we could give a quarterback was at number 10.
Depends on the quarterback. I mean, look. I mean, if it Justin Fields falls to 10,
But I feel like if it's a Mac Jones that slides to 10, he might get a first next year, something like that. But I mean, if a Justin Fields was to slide, then you might get, the overhaul. Which,
look. I mean, we're all going to Vegas anyways for next year.
Right.
Oh my God, bro! If we had 2 first-round picks next year, oh my God. My God. But with that being said, man, I don't think I see any more questions with 3 minutes to go because somebody shoots us a question. We might be here another 15, 20. So, man, let's go and pay these bills, man. Let's get on up out of here. How about that? My guy, Jay Tuck, 1 year Tuck, 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations. Glad you're in the building.
This, man.
Go for it, man.
I appreciate all you guys, man, who tuned into the channel, man. Follow me on Twitter at JTuck151 and then also on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only. We're making that push. We're doing giveaways, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm excited for this draft content, man. Like I said, it's just a wealth of knowledge that you guys get, ideas that we kick around. And so when people will start talking about, Surtain at safety, just realize where you guys got that idea from the Star Gang show. So it's like, So
Spoony.
You can find me at Twitter at Spoonie881. You guys know I'm right here at home at Star Gang. Listen, if today was a hot, wait till the draft day. It's going to be hot all those 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, Spoon, you ain't never lied because going forward, these shows are going to get just hotter and hotter with the temperature rising, with the smoke. When there's smoke, there's what, fellas? There's fire. So these things are just going to happen next couple of weeks as we're leading into the draft. Man, we're going to have a good time. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you hit that sub, that notification bell. Make sure you shoot over to Cowboys Fans Only, hit that notification bell and that sub as well. Hey, man, if you're on YouTube, man, shoot over to Facebook. Now, Star Gang is the group. Star Gang is the page. Jump in the group. We're 4K strong. Jump on the page as well. Like and follow that too, so you don't miss out on anything. And of course, on Twitter. Look, as you're about 1,000 on the old. No, you're a Twitter hand. Your Twitter's out of control. But on YouTube, you're about 1,000. Man, I'm this close to 1,000 followers on Twitter, man. Your _guy_Nix NIX, man. Come through. Notification bells. You never know when the afterparty is going to hit you this weekend. I guarantee you, there's probably going to be a show pop up between now and Sunday. But if you don't have the bell on here or there, you'll miss it. Man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Man, real quick, let me get some shout outs before we get out of here. Bam, my guy Rush, great show. Donald in the building. Beard Gang, you know what it is. The best. Hey, my guy Matt Owen with that train, baby. That pitch train. We're trading 75 even. I don't care if you haters hate it. We're trading 75 to go to 7 and get it. My guy Mendoza with the horn, of course. It does also say congrats again. Oh my God, Mojo! Mojo winning everything, man. You already know. Boom! It is, man. It is what it is, man. No us, man. There's no us without y'all, man. We appreciate it. Man. We had a great time rocking with y'all tonight. A little bit of extra time on the show. It's going to be a little longer going forward. Man, we'll catch y'all next round. Notification bells Wednesday for sure. Between now and Wednesday, who knows? Make sure you tune in.